Do you find it frustrating to constantly try and figure out if a guy is truly interested in you or just playing some sort of game? Do you find that you constantly end up wasting a whole bunch of your time and energy on guys only to end up realizing that it never ends up going anywhere real? Lucky for you, there's a solution to end the guessing game, which is why on today's show, we're going to be discussing how to know he's not interested. That way, you can stop the endless back and forth with a man who wasn't even interested in being in a relationship with you in the first place. Welcome to the Players Club. If you're paying attention to me and everyone else in the live stream, please say here present so that I know you're here present and actively participating. Welcome to the show. How are all of you beautiful people doing? I see over in the YouTube chat, we got SH holding us down. She was here bright and early. I see we got Nikki. I saw Scotty earlier. Here goes Dez. I see Elise. Let me scroll up. Astro Queen is here. Alexandra is here. Goose is here. Okay, all you beautiful souls are here in the TikTok chat, bright and early, ready to go. And who we got over in the YouTube chat? I see we got Tracy Niles. Of course, we got Ivy, one of our amazing channel members. I think Tracy Niles, shout out to her, was first today in the chat. We got Irina. I see Cashley is here. Cashley is the new version of Ashley. We got Enlightened Nate as well. We got Nikisha West. We got Tony, Chris, Melita, and much more in the YouTube chat. Welcome all of you beautiful people. All right, let's get started. We got lots to discuss today and lots of questions to get to today. So number one thing to know that he's not interested is endless chit chat. The road. Well, actually, you know what? We'll switch it up. We'll call this the road of chit chat, because for a lot of you, you become confused. And I'm trying my best today to give you guys key points of things guys will do that I know is confusing to you, because I know a lot of you are in situations where you don't know how to interpret this behavior from guys. And so you just end up being in limbo constantly, unsure of what's going on, how he really feels, what he really wants. So you just kind of stick around confused, only for it to end up going nowhere. So a lot of the points that I'm going to give you today are things that a lot of you guys are doing, but in the process of doing it with him or receiving this from him, you are unsure what it really means. But I want to make you aware of the fact that what it really means is that he's not interested in you. So I'll make it very simple for you in the future when you're in your talking stages or on your dates. Okay. So number one is the endless road of chit chat. This nonstop road, highway of chit chat that never ends up in actually meeting each other in person. A lot of you, and this is why this is number one, because this gets me angry, so I'm going to get angry very early on. A lot of you are in situations where you don't realize that part of the reason he's having endless chit chat with you and has never, in the process of having this endless chit chat with you, ever actually said out of his mouth, okay, let's plan the day that we're actually going to meet each other. He might fantasize with you about it. He might tell you, one day I'm going to book an Airbnb and come see you. One day I'm going to book a plane ticket across the world and I'm going to come see you. But he never actually gets to the logistics of purchasing that plane ticket, purchasing that Airbnb, scheduling his time off work, and seeing you. And so for a lot of you, you're effectively in a long distance relationship, whether there actually is a lot of physical distance between you or there's just emotional distance between you, meaning that you never actually see that person in person. And so a lot of you are in a cycle where you're with a guy who's giving you endless chit chat, pointless chit chat, might I add, right? Chit chat that doesn't go anywhere. It's a road of chit chat. You just can't really see where this road is going. You don't know where it's going to end, and you don't know what destination it's going to take you to. It's just chit chat, chit chat, chit chat with no real purpose. I'm here to tell you, look at me, look into my eyes. I'm your friend. I'm trying to help you. I'm here to tell you from a man's perspective, a man who's giving you endless chit chat is not actually interested in you. A man who is making an attempt to see you and spend real quality time with you, the human being, in person, that is a man who's interested in you. See, a lot of you are getting confused because you think, oh, he's texting me all day, every day, so that must mean that he's super into me. Oh, he's Snapchatting me 24/7. We literally have a 384-day long Snapchat streak. That must mean he's really interested in me. Why would he Snapchat me if he's not interested in me? Why would he send me Instagram Reels if he's not interested in me? Why would he send me Facebook memes if he's not interested in me? Tomisin, that makes no sense. Of course, he's going to talk to the type of girls that he's interested in, and he talks to me over the phone and texts me and message me and Snapchats me 24/7. So clearly his PP is so hard for me. Don't you see that, Tomisin? Don't you see how interested he is in me and how much he wants me? No. I'm here to explain to you that the endless chit chat is not representative of him wanting you. In fact, I'm here to tell you that endless chit chat with no end goal in mind, or no purpose, or no desire to actually see you in person, go out on a date with you, or spend real time with you, is actually a sign that he's not interested in you. Okay? In the Players Club, and you're probably asking the question, Tomisin, so why would guys talk to girls that they're not actually interested in, that they don't actually want to be with? Well, I will answer that question with a question of my own. Why do you talk to guys that you're not actually interested in? Why do you speak and chit chat with guys that you don't actually want to build a relationship with and want to be your boyfriend? The very, very simple answer, majority of the time, is attention, right? Attention and I'm bored. One of those two, or in combination, they're both at the same time. Okay? I'm either bored or I want attention. Guys are the same way. They're either bored or they want attention. But let me explain to you, him being bored or just wanting attention still doesn't mean that he's actually interested in you for real. Okay? I want you all to come away from this episode having a better understanding of what is real, genuine interest and what is what I call fake interest. The type of interest that's low quality that guys will show you, hoping they can extract something from you, but it doesn't actually mean they actually want to be with you or anything like that. You understand what I'm saying? And so one of these things with this endless chit chat going nowhere, guys are bored. Guys love pen pals too. Guys love to text. They're textaholics also. So they'll sit here and they'll chat your entire ear off, texting you all day, 24/7. You're happy because now you have a texting buddy. But that's all you have is a texting buddy. And after a while of living up through this high of having a texting buddy 24/7 that you can message and will message you back every 5 minutes, you start to think to yourself after a while, it's great to have a texting buddy, but are we only ever going to be texting buddies? But you continue investing yourself in this guy over and over again, thinking that, we're texting buddies now, but eventually this is going to end up in us being in a serious long-term relationship. And you're hoping, remember you're on that drug called hopium, you're hoping that one day it's going to eventually end up all this endless chit chat and you guys building a real relationship with each other. The problem is that endless chit chat that you're doing with him never ends up going into or building up to actually seeing each other in person. It only continues to be endless chit chat. So then as you have this pen pal that you're with, that you are hoping it goes somewhere with, and you're hoping that it develops somewhere with, right? As you continue investing in him, now you went from saying, wow, I have the best pen pal to chit chat with ever. You start saying to yourself, damn, are we never going to see each other? Are we never going to spend time with each other? And then eventually you realize that all this time you spent investing in your pen pal is just time wasted. Because for some of you, because this is what happens to some of you, when you come to the realization that, hey, we're just chit-chatting and we're not actually seeing each other and there's no actually effort being put towards you seeing me in person, you start saying to him, hey, Are we going to go out on a date here in a little bit? Are we going to go out on a date soon? And you become frustrated, right? Because you're thinking, you're telling me you like me. You're telling me all the different ways that you want to be with me and you want me and you desire me. So why aren't you asking me out on a date? And then what is his response? When he's an endless chit chatter and he's not that interested in you, his response is usually this: oh yeah, for sure. We're definitely going to go out on this date soon. Yeah, 100%. I'm definitely going to take you out at some point. We're going to do this whole thing. He wants to get you super excited. Yeah, for sure. You know, we're going to do it and we're going to go out and I just got to do this. I just got to fix my credit. I just got to work on this. I just got to make some more money. Whatever the excuse is. And once again, the chit chat is persistent and endless, but it never ends up going anywhere. Okay, let me grab my water bottle. Are you following me so far? I'll smooth, right? Are you following me so far, right? You don't want to be in a position where endless chit chat is going on and it's not building towards anything. And I know for a lot of you, you get confused because like I said, you think that the endless chit chat means that he actually wants to talk to you and he actually wants to spend time with you. If he actually wanted to spend time with you, I want you to never forget this, okay? Never forget when I say this, so listen up very closely. If he actually wanted to spend time with you and see you, he would actually put forth the effort of spending time with you and seeing you. So if that requires him booking a plane ticket to go to your country or to go to your city and see you, then he would just do that. He wouldn't talk about that endlessly and not actually do it, okay? If he actually wanted to go out on a date with you and take you to somewhere fancy, he would just do that. He wouldn't chit chat with you about doing that endlessly and not actually do it. This is where I want you guys to be understanding of the difference between, because I know that a lot of you believe in this idea that if he wanted to, he would. And I believe in that too. And it is very true. But see, what some of you get confused is if he wanted to, he would, but he wants to and he would because he's talking about the fact that he would. No, he would if he actually does it. Okay. I know that sounds a little bit confusing, right? But what I'm trying to help you understand is wanting to or saying he's going to is not the same as actually doing. And sometimes you're interpreting the fact that he constantly talks about, I want to take you out on this date so badly, and I want to come to your city, and I want to fly you out here, and I want us to be together forever, and I want us to get married, and I want us to see each other and spend every day together. But he's not actually doing the things required to come see you or spend time with you or take you out on a date. This is endless chit chat going nowhere. And you need to stop interpreting that as, oh, he's interested in me, but there's something preventing him from not seeing me or something preventing him from spending time with me or taking me out on a date or whatever he's trying to present you this lie. Okay. The reality of it is if he was truly that interested, he would just do it. And whether you've experienced it or you've seen it happen for other people, you know deep down in your heart that when a guy really likes you and he's really interested in you, he will bend over backwards to try to make things happen for you and for this relationship. You deep down in your soul, in your spirit, you know what it feels like for a guy to be interested in you. The problem lies in the fact that when you are interested in a guy and you really like a guy, you try to convince yourself. That's why I always say we talk about emotions here a lot because emotions are so powerful and they'll twist and turn your mind into believing something that's not true. See, your emotions and your mind will start to convince you of a narrative that because I like this guy so much, let me ignore the fact that deep down in my soul and my spirit, I know what he's doing and how he's approaching this relationship. He's not that interested. But because I like him so much, I don't want to believe that he's not that interested. I can't accept the idea that he's not that interested. So I need to continue convincing myself that, the reason he's not seeing me in person is actually because he's got a job issue that needs to be fixed. And, once he gets his credit score up to 800, then he'll finally be able to take me out on a date. Right? And you'll build these narratives up in your mind when you like a guy, not realizing that it's a clear sign that he's not interested in you. So this show is meant to help bring you that clarity from a man's perspective so that when you're thinking in your mind of that narrative, because that narrative will come and play in your mind. When you like a guy, rest assured, that narrative will begin playing in your mind that, oh, don't worry about the fact that he's showing you he's not interested. Just think about the fact that, oh, it's this external circumstance, or it's that excuse, or it's this excuse. Yeah, don't focus on that. Just focus on the fact that, yeah, he probably does like you. It's just something else that you haven't thought of or don't realize. Okay? I'm here to help wipe that thought out of your brain. I want you to never think that thought again. I want you to come to the realization that if he's showing you one of these things that we discuss, it's because he's not that interested, so that you can breathe it in and breathe it out. Okay, clearly he's not that interested in me. It's not a crime that he's not that interested in you. Okay, and you're not about to do backflips and front flips to try to get him interested in you. What you're going to do is you're going to say, cool, if you're not that interested in me, it's not that serious to you, then let me just move forward with my life. I'm not going to sit around hoping and praying that one day you will finally be interested in me and want to build a relationship with me. Perfectly fine if you don't, but I will not be chasing after you. I'm trying to say this so that you can come to that realization, and it can be easy for you, not something that becomes frustrating where you feel the need to start doing more things for him. Okay, does that make sense? Let me go ahead and fix here to make sure that you guys can see the YouTube chat here. Let me just see if I can get this to work real quick. See, enter YouTube chat. It should be popping up. I don't know. YouTube chat be very finicky these days. Let me just do a quick refresher of the YouTube chat, and if that doesn't work, then I might have to get me a new chat bot. Let me just see real quick. Scroll down to the chitty chat, and let's see, widgets, chat bot. That chat bot should be, oh, there we go. See, there go the chat bot. All right. I just had to refresh a few things. Now the chat bot's back. All right. So endless chit chat is number one. All right. Brown Sugar says, where were you all along? I came right on time for you in the universe. Okay. So exactly when you needed me the most, that's when I showed up in your life. Don't think that it's ever too late. All right. It's always right on time. Universe always has perfect timing. So endless chit chat, number one. Now, number two is no urgency. And I want all of you paying attention to this really and truly. I want every single one of you paying attention to this point, because a lot of you don't realize this. And it's an easy mistake that when you're not thinking about it or not addressing it in your mind, you'll forget about this and you'll allow it to slide, and it'll only end up in a pointless, strung out situationship that doesn't end up building into anything. I need you to understand this very, very important point, that when men are interested in you, okay, and they actually desire you and want to build a relationship with you, they will have a sense of urgency as it relates to you and this relationship. What I'm talking about when I say a sense of urgency, you see, when you spend time with the guy, let's say, for example, you go out on a date with a guy, and you go out on one date and you're thinking in your mind, this date is really good. I really like this guy. I really got along with him. I feel like we're vibing. I feel like we're on the same page. Afterwards, when he doesn't message you for 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, 1 week, and then you make the mistake of messaging him instead because your anxiety is growing and you're thinking in your mind, wow, I really liked you. Wow, I really enjoyed our date. Wow, I really enjoyed spending time with you. Let me text you so that you can be reminded of my existence, because I want you to realize that I still exist and that, you still have my number and we can go out on a second date. So when you text him, he says, oh yeah, my bad. I didn't text you for the past week because I've just been so busy with work. I had this thing to do. I had that thing to do, but for sure we'll eventually go out on a second date. And you're thinking in your mind, cool, great. I messaged you. You realized that I still exist. So that was good that I messaged you. And now that you realize I still exist, we're definitely going to go out on a second date. But you know what happens after he sends you that message? Nothing. It's radio silence. Because the truth of the matter is, when a guy is not interested in you, he has no sense of urgency when it comes to you, when it comes to dating you, when it comes to spending time with you, when it comes to anything with you. There is no sense of urgency. Because when he really wants you and really desires you, it'll never feel like enough. Seeing you once a week will never feel like enough. Seeing you twice a week will never feel like enough. Seeing you every single day won't feel like enough if he really, really wants you and really, really desires you. This is why I always tell all of you beautiful souls that come here in the Players Club and you're thinking about how you can be more attractive and get all the guys to chase and pursue after you. And I always tell you the last thing you should be thinking of is how to ease his anxiety. Because the guys that really like you are going to want to see you all the time. He's going to go out on a date with you and he's literally going to ask you, can I see you in 2 days? Can we plan our next 3 dates for the next, a couple of weeks? Because I want to make sure I lock in the days that I'm going to see you, right? And you're thinking in your mind, the best way to ease his anxiety because of how much he wants to see me and spend time with me is to be available to him all the time, right? Or to talk to him even more than he talks to me. Or to spend as much time as I possibly can with him so that he feels satisfied in our relationship. But what I'm here to try to share with you is that you never need to be thinking about how you can do more to ease his anxiety. Because the reality of it is, guys will always have a sense of urgency when they desire you, and there's nothing wrong with that. You actually want him to have a sense of urgency in terms of you and your relationship with him. You don't want him in a position where he feels it unnecessary to have a sense of urgency with you. Why? Because that's when he will not be putting his best foot forward in the relationship. And we don't want that for you. Right? We don't want that for you. Goose says, what if I want to see him? See, there's nothing wrong with wanting to see him. All I'm helping you understand is you should not be doing that work for him. And this is where I know that the most painful part for all of you is the realization that the guy you actively want and like and want to spend time with has no sense of urgency when it comes to you. But what I'm here to help you understand is you can never instill a sense of urgency in a man who doesn't have that for you. And it's not even your job to instill a sense of urgency for him. See, a lot of you are in situations where you have a guy who doesn't have a sense of urgency when it comes to your relationship, but you think, oh, the best thing for me to do because he doesn't have a sense of urgency is to pick up the phone and text him all day, every day, and remind him of my existence. Send him pictures 24/7, send him memes 24/7, call him 24/7, and make sure he never forgets that I exist so that he can continue feeling like he wants to take me out on dates and wants to spend time with me. Or you think to yourself, because I really like him, it's my job to show him that I have a sense of urgency so I can prove to him how much I like him. Never do that. Stop doing that. And if you've been doing that, I want you to never do it again. It is not your job to prove to a man how much you like him. A function of you being a woman, I'm only talking about straight heterosexual relationships. A function of you being a woman in your feminine energy means you're receiving him. He pursues you because he sees you, identifies you, and he wants ya. Because he wants ya, he approaches you and he tries to get to know you so that he can get more access to you. So, because that is the foundation that has been set, it is not your job to prove to him how much you like him. It's not your job to prove to him how much you can do for him. It's not your job. See, this is the thing. I don't want to get too sidetracked here, but this is the thing. In this new age of players, right, the guys, one of the really, really smart, slick things that they do is they come to you because women are empowered now, right, as they should be. And women, there's equality, there's feminism, all that good stuff. So, but the men, they're smart enough to know I can actually trick her into thinking that equality and feminism is about you purchasing and pursuing me instead. It's so slick and so smart because when you're in the belief, oh yeah, equality, oh yeah, feminism, oh yeah, I'm just as capable as the man. So if I like you, I should show you and prove to you how much I like you by doing more for you, taking you out on dates, spending my money on you, buying you things, giving you gifts, scrubbing the floor for you, putting my maid outfit on for you. Right? Cooking and cleaning and washing the pots and the pans despite you not giving me anything in return. I'll do all that to prove to you because equality, because feminism. And the guys go, yes, 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 queen. Feminism, yes, queen. Equality, yes, queen. Show me that you like me too and how much you want to be with me. Yes, queen, spend your money on me because you have it. Yes, queen. It's smart. It's slick. Because you are in the belief of it, right? So you think that it's your job to show him that you have a sense of urgency because equality, right? You think that it's your job to show him how much you like him and want to spend your time with him. So you're the one that should be calling him. You're the one that should be texting him. You're the one that should be asking him out on dates. When I'm trying to help you understand, it's never been that way, okay? And it never should be that way. That's not how it's meant to be. And a lot of you end up having a sense of urgency for the guy that you like, right? As a way to mask the fact that he does not have a sense of urgency when it comes to you. So majority of the time you end up pulling and doing all the heavy lifting in the relationship for him and you, hoping that you will not realize how little a sense of urgency he has in the relationship with you because you're doing all the work. Are you following me so far? And what I want you to understand is anytime you're in a relationship and you're thinking to yourself, gee, this guy never seems to really want to see me that much. He never really seems to want to plan that many dates with me, right? And the thing about it is, one of the things that you guys get tripped up in is you go out on a date with a guy and you always feel, because like I always say, everything is good in the beginning. It always is good in the beginning. It feels good in the beginning. He's a nice guy in the beginning. You laugh in the beginning. You have the same sense of humor in the beginning. You get along so well in the beginning. It's all great. But the reality of it is, what ends up happening to a lot of you is when you go out on the date, you have a good time, then you think in your mind, oh, I kind of like you. I like spending time with you. So you anticipate, oh my God, that means you're going to really want to go out on this next date with me very soon. But the painful realization comes after the date, and he doesn't really seem to have a sense of urgency. He's not asking you out on a second date. He's not keen on texting you. He's not trying to call you. He's not trying to plan anything with you. But that becomes frightening to you. And because you like the guy and you have a little bit of investment in him and attachment to, I want this to work out now, you start thinking to yourself, rather than convincing myself of the reality that he might just not be very interested in me or interested enough to pursue me, I don't want to believe in that narrative. I'd rather believe in the narrative that he is interested in me. And all that's required of me is to show him that I'm interested back in him. So I'm going to pick up my phone and start texting him instead and start calling him instead. Or even worse, I'll start reminding him that, hey, this Friday I am free if you want us to go out on a date to that place that we mentioned when we were on our date last time. Or if you want us to plan something, we can next week because I have the whole week off of work that week. And you're thinking in your mind, let me do that job for him instead of building this idea in my mind that he's just not that interested in me. And then what happens is some of you end up even actually going out on the date with the guy. But you go out on a date with the guy who's actually not that interested in you, and you're on the date not because he wants you. You're on the date because you facilitated the date and you did the job for him. So the relationship continues like that, where you're doing the job for him, never actually accepting the fact that he has no urgency in your relationship. Okay? Have you ever noticed that when a guy really likes you, he wants you, and he really wants you, and he doesn't want to compromise seeing you? I'm not talking about last minute hangouts. I'm not talking about, a booty call. I'm talking about when he wants you, it is urgent to him to see you, whether it be difficult, whether you're across the country, whether you're in a different city, it is urgent to him. And the relationship is urgent to him. Whether he's got to move things around, whether he's got to adjust things, whether he's got to cancel other plans. Guys are capable, more than capable. I just never want you to forget. They are more than capable of putting their best foot forward and making adjustments so that they can see you regardless of what the adjustment is. But the problem is you just don't want to accept that as the truth, that when guys really want to make an adjustment, they'll just make an adjustment. And you want to convince yourself of the narrative that it's just something else that I'm not thinking of. It's not that he's not interested. It's not that he doesn't want me. It's just something else. And so you stick around wasting your time, wasting your time, wasting your time in a situation with a guy who is really not that interested, and then you end up frustrated wondering why he's really not showing you like he's that interested in you. Right? Right? Are you following me so far? Bridget says, can we ask questions? You mean questions of me or questions in general, right? Does that make sense? T says, I almost feel desperate and frustrated. It's okay. It's okay. Part of joining the Players Club is the realization that you're okay with you and your life is good, whether or not a boy's in it or not. You understand what I'm saying? So let me go up to, I want to acknowledge the donation here. Thank you so much to Tracy Niles. Tracy Niles donates $10 in the YouTube chat. She says, hi, Tomisin, you are truly a blessing. Thank you so much. Thank you for valuable content. You're always taking such good care of us, but how do you unwind balance after all the content you present on a daily basis? Heart you. How do I unwind? This is me. This is what I'm passionate about. Don't you guys hear how passionate I am when I talk to you guys? This is how I unwind, is spending time with you all. Or I guess I rewatch the show, which is still spending time with you guys. Okay. You're my life. Okay. I care so much. And also thank you to Elizabeth and Nels in the TikTok chat who donated as well, and the others who donated as well. Thank you so much. I see all of the donations. All right. So no sense of urgency is number 2. So number 1 was endless chit chat. Number 2 was no urgency. And number 3, I want to address this. Oh, by the way, thank you so much to Elise. Yes, Elise, who just donated 10 euro. Oh, sorry, Julie. I said Elise. That was another name. Julie, who just donated 10 euro in the YouTube chat. So thank you very much for the donation. I appreciate that. So number 1 was endless chit chat. Number 2, no sense of urgency. Now, number 3 is when a man is unfazed. Now, I know some of you are like, unfazed with what? Unfazed about what? Unfazed about me? Unfazed about relationship? Let me explain this to you. When you're in a relationship with a guy, or a situationship, because most of you, it's not actually a relationship. When you're in a situationship with a guy, it's just a thing with a guy, and you start to get the sense that he is unfazed or unmoved by anything you do, meaning if you're going out, he doesn't care who you're going out with, where you're going, what time you're going there, and when you're going to be back. If you say, yeah, I'm going out with a group of friends, some of them are guys who I slept with, some of them are guys who like me, some of them are guys who really want me. If, if you're telling him this guy's messaging me and this guy's messaging me, yeah, I think he invited me to a party because he said I'm beautiful and he wants to see me so badly. So I think I'm going to go to that party, right? If you're starting to notice that anytime you talk about the things that you're doing, whether it be spending time with other people, spending time with friends, or spending time even with guys, and he is constantly unfazed by anything that you're doing. He doesn't question it. He doesn't want to know more details. Even if it's not toxic or nothing suspicious, he just doesn't care enough to be like, hey, yeah, can you explain to me where you're going? Can you explain to me who you're going to be spending time with? Can you explain to me, when you're planning to be back, what area you're going to be in? Can you update me on what's going on, right? Even if he's not with you or not around you. If he doesn't have that sense of, like, I care about what's going on with you. Even if we're not going out on a date, I want to know what you're doing. I want to know what you're up to, right? I want to know what's going on with you and what's going on with your life. If you get the sense that he is unfazed by anything that you do, whether good or bad, suspicious or not suspicious, that is a clear sign that he's not that interested in you. This is one that's going to be very painful for a lot of you, because a lot of you, have convinced yourself that he's interested in you and want to believe that he's interested in you. But the reality of it is he doesn't question you on anything that you're doing. He doesn't question you on anything that goes on in your life, anything that goes on with your family, with your friendships, with your work life, with your career, with your passions, with your nothing that goes on with you does he question or want to know more about. He is completely unfazed by everything that has to do with you. You want to know why? Because your relationship is not about what you're doing or how much he cares about you, because he doesn't. He only cares about you as it relates to serving him. So when he wants to spend time with you, when he wants to sleep with you, when he wants you to come over to his place, and when he wants to see you so you can suck and slurp him off and he can penetrate you, that is when you matter to him. That is when he cares about what you're doing. Which is why he'll call you and he'll say, yo, I know it's like 4 a.m. and shit, but like, yo, you can come over to my place right now. Like, I just finished at the club. Like, I know you be up late and I seen you watch my story. You can pull up on me. And you're like, but I'm doing this thing tomorrow. Nah, but you said you don't really care about that thing you're doing tomorrow. Yo, just come over to my place. That doesn't matter. What are you doing right now that's even more important than me? You could come see me. You could come spend some time with me. There ain't nothing you be doing. Girl, you be having some fun with me. You telling me that work, you can go to your shift a little bit tired. You could come spend some time with me. Don't act like you can't come spend some time with me. See, the only time he cares about what you're doing or what's going on in your life is when it interferes with his ability to penetrate you and jackrabbit himself inside of you for 90 seconds. Anything that has to do with interfering with his ability to do that with you, that's when he cares about what's going on with you. That's when he's fazed about anything going on in your life, because that could be interfering with what he wants from you. But other than that, he doesn't care. Other than that, you don't matter. Because what matters in the relationship is not you, the person. What matters in the relationship is how you serve him, and if you can serve him exactly when he wants to be served and how he wants to be served. Anything outside of that is unimportant to him, which is why he doesn't address it or question you in the relationship that he's having with you, because it doesn't matter. He is completely and utterly unfazed by anything that goes on in your life that doesn't consist of him utilizing you. Right? Does that make sense? Someone says, I think you're having an allergic reaction. No, it's tretinoin. Tretinoin makes my nose itchy. Okay. If you guys know what tretinoin is, it's a skin exfoliant, right? That's how you get glass skin. Okay. Being unfazed is such an important part, right, of understanding if a guy has interest in you or not, right? If you see that a guy doesn't care about anything you're doing, doesn't care where you're going, doesn't care where you're spending your time, doesn't care who you're spending your time with. Think about the guys that liked you the most in your life. Think about the guy, even if you didn't like him back, think about the guys that liked you the most. They're always questioning you on what's going on with you. They're always questioning you on where you're going. They're always questioning you on where you're going to be and who you're spending time with. They're questioning you on everything, even if it seems really irrelevant to you, because they care and they're fazed. And if they care, they can't. You have to understand, if someone cares, they can't uncare. So they care, even if it seems unrealistic or unimportant or just stupid. They still care. They still want you. They still want to know what's going on with you. They can't stop caring. They can't just turn it off like a light switch. They're always going to care. So the guys in your life that seem to not care about anything you do, it's a clear sign that he's not interested in you. And I tell you this not to hurt your feelings, but so that you can properly understand that the narrative that you're building in your mind that, oh, he just doesn't ask me where I'm going or what I'm doing or who I'm spending time with because he's so busy himself. Him being busy does not mean he doesn't care about you or care about what you're doing. Him being busy does not mean he'll, have no problem with you sleeping over at a guy's house because that's what all the friend group is doing. We're all sleeping at a guy's house and you're sleeping in a guy's bed. Okay? Some of you get this confused because guys like to, oh, I'm really open. I'm just chill. I'm just relaxed. And we're going to talk about chilling a little bit. I'm just chill. I'm just relaxed. I'm just a laid back type of guy. I can assure you, A guy that likes you is not going to be laid back. Okay. I don't care what his personality is. I don't care how he acts. I don't care how he approaches relationships. If a guy really likes you, he's not going to be laid back. Even if he tries to be laid back and he really likes you, he's going to start glitching. He's going to start having an error code, and you're going to see it on his face, and you're going to see it in his reactions, because he's going to be trying to act cool about everything, but you're going to clearly see in the way that he talks to you, or the side kind of notes that he gives, or the side comments that he gives, that he's bothered, okay? You're going to sense that a guy's bothered. So you can think of unfazed as also being bothered. When you notice that a guy's bothered, and you can tell by the way a guy addresses you or talks to you whether he's bothered or not. Okay, right? The moment he starts questioning you, so you going out with that dude? Why you always spending time with that dude? This is your best friend? How long y'all been knowing each other? So you're telling me he ain't try to pull no moves on you? So okay. You guys riding in the same car, the same Uber? Oh, okay. He's paying for your Uber? Nah, I just think it's weird how a guy's gonna be paying, like, so you're telling me he doesn't have no feeling, right? And even if nothing's going on, even if you're not doing anything wrong or doing anything suspicious, you're going to start noticing even small things are bothering him. Even small things, he's kind of making these side comments. I don't care. Like, I don't care if you go out with whoever you want, but who are you going out with again? Oh, you going? Okay. Nah, like I'm not even. I don't care who you're going out with. I was just asking because like it's whatever. Like, it's what time are you going to the club? Oh, okay. Yeah. No, it doesn't matter to me. But I just wanted to know, right? And you'll get it. You trust me. When we talk about this now, it'll become more obvious to you when a guy is phased and he's trying to hide it, or he's just truthfully unfazed by you, because there's a difference, and it's pretty clear once you can recognize the difference, okay? Right? So number 1 was endless chit chat. Number 2, no urgency. And number 3, unfazed, okay? Now, let's head into number 4, okay? Does that make sense to you guys so far? Right? Sub says, it's always the men I'm not interested in who act like this. It's funny how that works, but that's actually part of why we have this show, is because I know that for a lot of you, you're in situations where the guys that you don't like are always the guys giving you all the signs of how much they like you and doing everything that you would want the guys you do like to do. That's part of the problem, though, is that when you really like a guy, your own approach to him and the relationship changes. And a lot of times when your approach changes, it allows him to sit back, relax, while you're the one that chases after him. So I'm trying to help you understand how your approach changes a lot of times when you really like a guy, so that you can be thinking, okay, I really like you and I really want this to work. However, I'm not going to change my approach. I'm actually going to purposely treat you the same way I would treat a guy who doesn't like me, who I don't like and I'm not interested in, because when I treat a guy like I don't like him, that's when he has the space to like me the most. So I'm going to sit back and relax and treat you that way, knowing that that's going to inspire in you the most effort and pursuit and chasing, the same way it would inspire a guy who I don't like to chase me and pursue me. You follow me? It sounds weird and it sounds really strange, but as we explain it and talk about it more, it'll make more sense to you over time. Okay? So number 1 was endless chit chat. Number 2, no sense of urgency. Number 3, being unfazed. And number 4 is a chill obsession. Okay? One of the things I hate the most, and I actually want all of you to be looking out for the most, is when a guy that you're speaking to or talking to constantly describes you as chill. And he describes one of his favorite qualities of you and this relationship as, I like you so much because you're so chill. I love the fact that you're chill. We get along and everything is just so chill. I know in your mind you're thinking, well, what's wrong with him describing me as chill? Chill is good, right? Chill means that he can relax. Chill means that I'm his peace. Chill is chill. Chill is a good thing. I'm here to help you recognize that when a guy has a chill obsession and all he talks about is how chill things should be and how chill he likes you to be and how chill he wants this relationship to be, that speaks to the fact that he's honestly not that interested in you. I need you to really soak in the idea that when a guy is in love with you, like really in love with you, he wants you so badly, he really desires you, the feeling inside him will never be described as chill. Think for yourself. When you, and I want you all to answer this in the chat, okay? I want everyone to participate. When you have been really interested in a guy, like really wanted him really badly and really been head over heels in love with him, think of the guy that you were obsessed with the most. Would you describe the feeling you had inside yourself, inside your soul? Would you describe that feeling as chill or intense? Okay? And I'm asking all of you this in the live chat because I want you to answer. Because if you're telling me that when you really liked the guy and you really were obsessed with the guy, that the feeling inside you was not chill, why do you think a guy describing you to you, right, and your relationship as chill, or the way he feels about you as chill, why do you think that that's a positive thing? Because guys say they want peace? Yeah, guys say they want peace. People say a lot of things that they don't mean, and when you actually give it to them, they respond negatively, okay? So I say that to say, guys say, oh, I want a girl that's chill. But in reality, when they get a girl that only makes them feel chill, they become extremely uninterested in that girl. And you know what they do instead? They take all of that chill energy that they left with you, and they take all of that intense passion and they go and focus on a different girl at work, or a different girl in their friend group, or a different girl that is not you, that they focus all of that intense passion and emotion on, and they go and chase and pursue her. Meanwhile, you're chill. So he comes around you when he just wants to chill. That doesn't mean that he doesn't have intense feelings of emotion and passion. He just doesn't give you those intense feelings of emotion and passion. He goes and he gives that to some other woman. But I can guarantee you those feelings of intense emotion and passion are there existing inside him. They're just not existing for you. Now, I'm not saying that to say that you're a bad person, but I need you to recognize that so that you can say to yourself, oh, whoa. I'm wasting my time. Right? This is all meant for you to just quickly be able to come to the realization, no, I'm wasting my time. This guy's not even really interested in me. I'm doing all the work here. Okay? So that you can properly actually uninvest yourself in this guy. And the quicker you can uninvest yourself in this guy, now you can go on and build a new relationship with someone who actually is invested in you. Tara says, is this live right now? It's 100% live right now. I can see all your questions. Okay? Why would I do a pre-recorded thing? This is very, very live. All right. So you don't want guys describing you as chill. And the moment you hear a guy constantly, that's why I call it a chill obsession. I just want us to be chill. I love that everything is so chill. I just feel around you so chill. He's literally telling you, I feel that I'm actually not that interested in you. I feel like I actually can, what he enjoys about you and being around you is the fact that he doesn't feel like he likes you more than you like him. So it's a good feeling to know that he can relax and not have to feel like he's constantly on edge to put his best foot forward to earn your approval, because he feels like he already has that. He feels like he doesn't have to do anything for you. He feels like you're really low maintenance and there's nothing required for you to want him and like him. Because the truth of the matter is, he's not going to feel or expect his dream girl to be low maintenance and to not have to put his best foot forward to get his dream girl. Do you think if he's in love with Kim Kardashian or Ice Spice or Megan Good or Rihanna or Beyonce, they're married, but you get my point. Do you think if he had an opportunity with his favorite IG model that he literally dreams of and can't stop thinking about and can't stop imagining, do you think if he got an opportunity with her, he would think that it requires minimal effort? He would think that, yeah, I expect my dream girl to be chill. I expect everything to be nonchalant and relaxed and laid back with my dream girl. No, because a function of her being the dream girl is him identifying the fact that not only do I want her, but everyone wants her. She's really desirable, not just to me, but to everyone. I can't treat that relationship like chill. I guarantee you, if you ask the guy that you like what he would do if he was gonna get a chance to take out on a date his dream woman, his dream IG model, his Ice Spice, his Megan Good, his whatever, his Kim Kardashian, if he was gonna get the chance to take out his dream woman, what would he do? I guarantee you he's not gonna say, I'd invite her over to my place and watch Netflix. Why? Because he doesn't expect that his dream woman would even accept that. And he doesn't expect that there should be a chill vibe. Okay, you guys love the word vibes. That there should be a chill vibe when it comes to his dream woman. Okay? He's not expecting there to be a chill vibe when it comes to that. He's expecting that, yeah, I'm going to have to put my best foot forward. I'm going to have to put myself in debt to use my last bit of money to take Ice Spice on a date if I want to get a chance with her. Because she's super desirable and everyone wants her. So then you got to start thinking, so how do you feel about me then? You're telling me you use your last $500 to take Ice Spice on a date, but you're telling me the thing that you like about me is that I can come over to your house at 3 a.m., just sit and watch Netflix with you and eat popcorn or order Uber Eats that I paid for. And that's what you like about me, the fact that our relationship is so chill. And I'm not saying this so that you, like I said, so that your feelings can get hurt. I'm saying this so that you can come to the realization that, like, part of these things that guys are telling you that you're unsure about, or you're building a narrative, oh, it must mean something else. I'm here to help you understand. No, it just means that he's not that interested in you. Okay? Your life isn't over. Your life is still good. Don't worry. Don't get bent out of shape. But I want you to come to that realization so that you can properly move forward. Okay? Because a lot of guys are going to string you along and you're going to be constantly thinking to yourself, I'm frustrated because I feel like this relationship isn't how I want or expect it to be, but I don't understand what's going on here. I don't understand, do you like me or do you not like me? A lot of our questions in the Discord, for those of you who don't know what the Discord is, you'll find out. But a lot of our questions in the Discord consist of the confusion that you guys have of not being sure, does he like me or is he not that interested in me? Which is why this topic is so important to everything that we discuss in the Players Club, because I want you guys to be aware of the type of ways a man will present himself to you and approach you when he's truly just not that interested in you. When he is obsessed solely with being as chill as possible in the relationship, with having the relationship be as low maintenance as it possibly can be, then that is a clear sign that he's really not that interested in you. I don't care if you're someone that doesn't require a lot from a man, that he has to spend thousands of dollars of you and take you out on crazy fancy vacations and dates. You have to understand that regardless of whether or not you're high maintenance or not, he will still want to go over the top and do things for you if he really is interested in you and really loves you, regardless of whether you're high maintenance or not. It doesn't matter. Okay? Because you're thinking in your mind, no, but the reason it's chill is because I don't require a lot. But the reality of it is, whether or not you don't require a lot, he's still going to give a lot to you. And I'm not just talking about monetarily and gifts and things like that. I'm also talking about emotionally. I'm also talking about putting in effort. I'm also talking about being consistent. I'm also talking about trying to put his best foot forward in the relationship. Okay? That's what I want you to understand. Regardless of you being low maintenance or not, regardless of you not requiring a guy to take you out on $1,000 dates, he will still not approach the relationship as chill. The only type of guys that are obsessed with your entire relationship just being a whole block of ice, just chill all around, chill 24/7. The only type of guys worried about that are the type of guys who just want to utilize you for what's in between your legs, and they don't want the headache of having to deal with you, go back and forth with you, argue with you, figure things out, come to solution. All of that is too painful and way too many calories burned, right, to get access to your Squirtle. Because you have to understand, a guy who's saying, yeah, I just want cheap and easy access to as many girls as I can possibly have access to with the minimal amount of effort, he's thinking in his mind, the perfect type of girl for that, the perfect type of friends with benefits, the perfect type of girl to take advantage of is a girl that's chill. Because she's not going to address anything. She's not going to have a problem with anything. She's going to keep her mouth shut. I can call her when I feel like calling her. I can have her pull up on me when I feel like pulling up on me. And I don't have to worry about anything else except for what I want, when I want it, how I want it. Don't got to take her out on dates. Don't got to spend too much time with her. Don't got to small talk too much with her. Don't got to ask her about herself. It'll just be chill. Think about this logic. Think about this logic. The best type of friends with benefits for a man would be a woman who is super chill. If I really want a woman who would be a great friends with benefits, wouldn't cause me any headache, wouldn't cause me any problems, wouldn't cause me any drama, that I wouldn't have to take out, that I wouldn't have to spend money on, that I could just make very convenient for me, it would be the exact type of girl that is the most chill. A wifey's not going to accept that. A girl with standards and self-respect is not going to accept that. A girl who's really high maintenance is not going to accept that. But a girl who's super chill will gladly accept that. She won't say anything. She won't address anything. Right? Does that make sense? The real Monia Mary says, so how does a naturally chill person not be chill? See, the thing about it is, when I say chill, I know a lot of you are thinking of, oh, so I should not be laid back anymore. I should be more forward. I should be more mean. I should change my personality. That's not what I'm talking about. Part of being unchill, I guess you could say, right, is having standards and having a lot of boundaries that you don't allow people to cross. That's part of not being chill. See, what happens is guys love the chill girls because the chill girls have no boundaries. The chill girls will say yes to anything. The chill girls will allow anything to happen or be done with no consequences. So part of being unchill is not necessarily about changing your personality, but it's actually about setting more boundaries and knowing how to say no to things and being very comfortable saying no to things and only allowing people to be in your life if they're going, especially the men, if they're going to present themselves in the way that you expect a man to present himself, if he's going to have the opportunity to spend some time with you. Right? That's not being chill if you set boundaries. That's not being chill if you have standards, especially if you have high standards. Chill people have no boundaries. Chill people have no standards. Chill people let everything slide and never address anything. You know how they say, it's not that deep, right? It's not that deep. That's what the kids are saying these days. That's the favorite. It's not that deep. Why you take it so seriously? It's not that deep. Chill out, relax. That's what the guys want from you. They want you to be of the mindset, it's not that deep. He doesn't call me at all. It's not that deep. He never asks me out on dates. It's not that deep. He only calls me at 2 a.m. to come sleep with him. It's not that deep. It's chill. We're chill. Just chill out. Let's see where things go. Let's relax. Let's go with the flow. Why aren't you chill? You just need to chill out. Why are you so worried about where things are going? That's exactly how those guys sound. Why are you so worried about where things are going? Why are you so worried about the title? Why are you so worried about this? Why don't you just want to chill out? Just chill. Like, it's not that deep what our title is. It's not that deep what the expectations are. It's not that deep if we're boyfriend and girlfriend or if we're just, kind of doing a casual thing. Like, just chill. The longer you become chill, the longer you get strung along, and the more time you end up wasting of your own life, only to realize that the reward you got for being chill, right? All the time you spent being chill, your reward for being chill is to get discarded of when he finally feels like he wants to move on to a girl he actually likes. That's your reward for being chill. You get thrown in the trash when it's time for him to move on. So my advice to you would be to never try to be the most chill. It's never going to benefit you, truthfully and honestly. He'll only overlook you and go find a new girl to focus his time and attention on when he feels like focusing his time and attention on a girl he actually likes. So number 1 was endless chit chat. Number 2, no sense of urgency. Number 3, being unfazed. Number 4, that's silly, chill obsession. And number 5 is what I call growing pains. Now, a lot of you are going to be confused with this. You got to pay attention so that you understand. When I refer to growing pains, what I'm talking about is the fact that guys are going to do a thing. Very interesting thing. When he is not that interested in you, anything that pushes the relationship forward to becoming more serious, right? To becoming more established, to having more expectations. So like us actually being boyfriend and girlfriend, that's like expectations. The relationship's in a box. We know what to expect. We know what's okay and we know what's not okay, right? Anything that requires the relationship to get pushed forward, to become more serious, he's always going to fight against that constantly. Okay? He'll never feel comfortable with the relationship moving forward to a place where it's more serious now. And he can't recover this idea that, oh, we're just kind of doing a thing, just kind of feeling each other out. So let me give you an example of growing pains. If you're dating a guy, let's say for the sake of argument, you've been dating a guy for, let's say, 1 year. And in the span of the 1 year you've been dating this guy, right, you still aren't officially boyfriend and girlfriend. And in this entire span of 1 year, you've only ever seen him. You've never met any of his friends, definitely never met any of his close friends. You've never met any of his family, and you've never met any of his siblings. So you're thinking to yourself, I would really love to meet your family or some of your friends that you hang out with. You talk about you having boys' nights and you spending time with these guys. I would love to meet some of these guys at some point. It's been a year that we've been talking and I haven't yet met any of your family or even any of your close friends. And I just feel like I don't really know anything about you. He's going to say, this is what his response is going to be when he has growing pains. He's going to say, well, to be honest with you, I like to keep my relationships separate and I don't really think it's the right time. And my friends, they got work and, my family, the situation, my mom, she's got a thing where she doesn't like to meet new people. And, my brother, he's got a thing where he's really busy. And my sister, she's kind of like a different type of sister where she has a problem with girl. And all of these, you'll see so much pushback and so many excuses. Anytime anything in the relationship consists of moving forward and making this more serious than it has to be, making this any more serious than him jackrabbiting himself inside of you for 90 seconds, right? This is why I call it growing pains, because the growth forward, right, making the relationship more serious, making it more established means that there are now more boundaries, means that there are now more expectations of him in the relationship, right? There are more, you expect more from him, more consistency, right? You expect him to treat you a particular way. You expect him to be loyal to you. All these things that come with the relationship that's meant to actually be real and actually be established and actually be serious. Those are things that he's actively going to be fighting against, and he's going to be very uncomfortable with moving forward towards. And so what I want you to recognize is these growing pains is actually a sign that he's not that interested in you. Because one of the most important things guys are going to want to do when they actually like you is they're going to want to introduce you to their friends. They're going to want to introduce you to their family. They're going to want to bring you around and spend time with you and do things with you and include you into their life. Bring you into the things that they're already doing. Bring you into the workplace or bring you into the whatever it may be, right? He's going to want to make you a part of his life. Growing pains is inserting you into his life in a way where, you're actually more like a girlfriend than you are someone I just jackrabbit myself inside for 90 seconds. You're actually more than just a pineapple doll that I utilize. You're actually more than just a whole bunch of pineapple videos that I can wank myself off to your dump truck. Okay? And if I'm not that interested in you, I will always be trying to avoid that. And I'll actually be really frustrated at anything you attempt to do that is pushing towards growth in our relationship. Why? I want this to be really strung along and really untitled, uncategorized, unorganized, confusion, because as long as there can consistently be confusion, I can continue utilizing you while you sit around hoping for the day something actually comes out of this relationship, not realizing that you've wasted 1 year of your life, 2 years of your life, and for some of you, a decade of your life. And that's not an exaggeration. I've literally had questions talking about a friends with benefits for a decade. And that horror story can actually be you if you don't recognize and come to the realization that some of the things that these guys are showing you is a clear sign that he's really not that interested in you. And I know the next thing that you guys are going to ask me, because you're going to say, okay, Tomisin, you just told me all these different ways that a guy's not interested in me. So what do I do now to get him interested in me? This is where I need you to accept this sad reality. Okay? Sad reality. You're going to shed a tear. It's not your job to do more things to get him more interested in you. Okay? There is no amount of backflips you're going to do to get him interested in you if he's not interested in you. There's no amount of texting you're going to do to get him interested in you if he's not interested in you. There is no amount of, Kegel exercises or squats you can do to get him interested in you if he's not already interested in you. The best thing you can do for yourself, if you really want to be more attractive and have more guys pursue you, the best thing you can do for yourself is to invest all of your time and energy into you. Whether it be going to the gym, doing your hair, doing your skin, getting your nails done, all the things that are important to you, painting, writing, doing art, all the things that matter to you. Invest way more into yourself, because two things will happen. One, you'll become a more desirable version of yourself, because the guys will say, wow, look at how much you have going for you. I want to be a part of that. Right? And so they'll desire you more and be more attracted to you because you're investing more into yourself. And then number two, even if you end up not attracting the guy that you want to attract or having him end up be interested in you, you will still have won, because all that time and energy that you invested into yourself, you're a better person because of it. You see that? So you win both ways. Right? But you lose if you try to do more things for him, thinking, okay, I'm going to sacrifice shifts so that I can be available when he wants me to be available, so that I can spend more time with him and he can have me access to me whenever he wants to have access to me, because that's what's going to make him like me more. Or I need to pick up the phone and start texting him more all the time, texting him good morning every morning and asking him what he's doing and asking him if he wants to go out on a date and asking him what his schedule is, so that he can actually like me more and be more interested in me. No, that's not how that works. And that's never how that works. Okay. And I know that's painful, because that realization is gonna be tough to swallow. That you can't do more to get him to like you when he doesn't even have any interest in you in the first place. But that is something that you need to become at peace with. The idea that who is meant for me will also be interested in me. In fact, they will be even more interested in me than I'm interested in them. And I'll never have to ask them as a woman to do more for me. See, that is the problem, is that when you start dating a guy or you start getting attached to a guy, you think to yourself, okay, the guy I end up with has to be you. But I'm here to tell you, you should be looking for a situation. Meaning you want the only guy that you end up with to fit the criteria of what you've been looking for. And any guy that does not fit that criteria is not who you're looking for. So then you don't feel pain losing out on a guy who's not what you're looking for anyways. In fact, you feel joy and happiness that you could quickly identify you are not who I'm looking for, so that you can spend more time with whoever it is that you're looking for. Right. Sachi says, no pineapples. Part of the reason why I tell you guys not to be openly giving out pineapples, because it makes it even more painful to come to the realization that I just wasted a body on a guy who isn't what I'm looking for. And so when you give away pineapples, you immediately want to convince yourself of the narrative that this is who I'm looking for, because if it's not, then I just wasted a body. And because you want to believe that this is who I'm looking for, you'll be looking for every type of way you can make this work, even though it's not working. You'll be looking for every type of excuse on why he's actually interested in you. He just hasn't realized it yet, even though he's actually just not interested in you. Because you want this so badly to work, even though it's clearly not working. Okay, so do you guys have any questions about the 5 that we just discussed today? So number 1 was endless chit chat. Number 2 was no urgency. Number 3, being unfazed. Number 4, the chill obsession. And number 5, growing pains. Okay. Maria says, when should we give up pineapples? See, this is the thing that I know a lot of you guys have this question. And I know all of you want me to tell you, hey, this is the exact timetable and rule and chart that you should follow of when you should give it up. The reality of it is a case by case basis, and it is based on how much time you're spending with the person and how much of a relationship you're building with that person in that course of that time. I'll give you an example of what I mean. Because in the span of 3 months, you can go out on 1 date a week with someone for 3 months. Right? That's by that same token, you can spend 3 months with someone and you can see them every single day. And in the span of that 3 months, you might see him lose his job. You might see him have a family member pass away. You might see him make $100,000. You might see him crash his car. You might see him go through so many ups and downs and roller coasters of emotions that you've experienced him in a lot of different ways, in a lot of different circumstances, in a lot of different situations. And you guys have grown a lot in this time period together. And he's shown you a lot of commitment, a lot of consistency, despite having a whole bunch of adversity. And you actually feel like you know him a lot better now and understand him a lot better, right? And in the same 3 months, someone else can be in a relationship with someone, see them once a week and only go out on 2-hour dinner dates with them where there's loud music and then they never have any real chit chat, right? And so in the span of the 3 months, you really don't know that person any better than you did in the beginning of the 3 months. Okay. So I say that to say it's a case by case basis because not all of you are moving at the same pace in your relationship. So you have to, rather than focusing on how much time has passed, right? Because time can pass without you actually knowing the person any better. You need to be focused on how well do I actually know you? Have I experienced you in a plethora of different situations? So not just us happy on a Saturday night when we go out for a dinner date. That's easy to be a good person then. But have I experienced you when you're stressed out, when you are going through hard things, when you're having family issues, when you're having money issues, when you're going through this or when you're going through that, when you're angry at me? How do you treat me in this relationship? When you're upset at me, how do you treat me in this relationship? How do you respond to adversity? How do you problem solve situations? How do you compromise with me, right? All of these things that you need to experience with someone to properly better learn and understand them are very key elements that you should be understanding before you ever think about giving away your Squirtle and having pineapples with him, okay? And some of you aren't doing that process because I always it's called the order of operations. Some of you aren't doing the order of operations correctly and you're sleeping with him first. And then afterwards, you're starting to try to analyze and be like, okay, so you're not really consistent. When you're stressed out, you treat me like this. I don't like that. When you do this and you're realizing that this guy is not what I'm looking for after you sleep with him, right? And then you're retroactively trying to fix things and adjust, and you're asking me, how can I get him to change? How can I get him to approach me the right way? How can I get him to be respectful? How can I get him to not? And it's like, well, these are the type of questions you should have been asking at the beginning. These are the type of answers you should have been looking to get at the beginning before sleeping with him. It's not just about, I don't want you guys to come to the thought process that I'm talking about, don't give away your Squirtle or don't have pineapples just because, that's how the universe should be. And you got to keep your legs close because that's how, it'll work out better. You also have to be thinking of, I can't be giving myself away to this man before I actually know this man. Right? And you actually have to ensure that the person that you're going to give yourself to is who they actually present themselves to be. And the only way to be sure of that is to experience him in a plethora of different situations and circumstances, right? The way to do that is not by sleeping with him first and then trying to scramble and figure out all of that stuff afterwards. You're doing the order of operations wrong. Someone said PEMDAS earlier, like from math, algebra. Okay? It's like that. It's like that. There's an order of operations that you must go through before you sleep with him so that you can ensure or at least make better decisions on men. That way you're not sleeping with guys and then saying afterwards, damn, maybe you weren't the person I should have slept with. Right? Does that make sense? Okay. With that being said, it is time. And I want us to hop right into this so we can spend some good time on this. Members of the Players Club, please tell these newbies These people that haven't been around for some time, please explain to them exactly what time it is. I don't want any of us confused. I want us all understanding and on the same page exactly what time it is. So can you tell these newbies in the chat what time it is? Do you know what time it is? Can you tell me what time it is? Here we go now. Do you know what time it is? Can you tell me what time it is? Here we go now. Do you know what time it is? Can you tell me what time it is? Here we go now. Chat now. Tell me what time is it? In the chat now. Tell me what time is it? In the chat now. What time is it? In the chat now. Tell me what time it is. In the chat now. What time is it? In the chat now. Tell me what time it is. In the chat now. What time it is? In the chat now. Tell me what time it is. I want to know what time it is. I want to know what time it is. I want to know. I want to know what time it is. I want to know what time it is. I want to know. I want to know what time it is. I want to know what time it is. I want to know. I want to know what time it is. I want to know what time it is. I want to know. Discord. All right, guys. For those of you who are confused, and maybe it's because you're new here, Discord time is essentially where all the amazing members of the Players Club get an opportunity to ask me and the members of the Discord a question in the relationship advice section, and I answer their questions live on the show. Okay, so this is a new thing that we're doing here as well in the Discord. We are allowing people to have two options. So there is a regular relationship advice section, and there's what we call premium relationship advice. Okay, so what I mean by premium relationship advice is essentially this section gets answered first in line. It's like skipping the line at a theme park, right? And the people who are in first in line in the relationship advice section, they get to skip the line and they don't have to wait to get their question answered. Okay, so let me just pull up our relationship advice donation link. But what happens is if you put your question in the relationship advice section, before I answer it, you must donate to the show so that it's fair to all the other people who have their question and are patiently waiting in the free version, because they're first come, first serve. You're getting to skip the line, so obviously you're going to have to donate to the show in order to do that. Now, for those of you who want to donate to the show to skip the line, because I will warn you, there's a line of like 100 questions. So if you send yours in, it might be a few weeks before I get to yours. If you want to skip the line, all you got to do is go into the link in my bio if you're on TikTok, or the link in the pinned comment here. I'm going to pin this comment here, and you can ask your question in where it says premium relationship advice. You just send in your PayPal, and then I want you to put your username of the Discord, and I want you to put the title of your question, and then have that same title and username in here, and then I will be able to verify that that is you and that is your question, because I go through the verifications on my phone before I answer any of these questions, okay? Because I don't want people putting into the premium relationship advice section questions that they haven't actually donated to the show. I want to be fair to everyone. So let's start off here. I did skip one yesterday that I should have answered and I didn't get a chance to answer. So we're going to start with this one here. All right. So first off is Yala. Okay. So Yala says, should I remove him out of my life? All right. Here's my situation. I'm 24 and I met this guy who approached me while I was in the process of breaking up with my boyfriend. Okay, so there's a little bit of overlap there. Initially, he showed a lot of interest and became my sneaky link. I hope you mean after you broke up with your boyfriend. After some time, he started love bombing me, and I began flying back and forth to see him since we lived in different states, making it a long distance relationship. Okay. After 2 years, we were almost serious, but now he has removed me from his private Instagram account, Finsta, although he still has me on his main profile. I'm unsure if I should keep investing in this relationship. I want to remove him from my life because I don't want to feed his ego or deal with low vibrational energy. very strange that this would all happen so fast and then he would disappear in the blink of an eye. Very strange. We've been in no contact for months now, and I'm unsure what to do. He knew it was my birthday, but didn't wish me a happy birthday, despite me always making his birthday special with personalized gifts. It feels like he's all talk and no action. Do I really need to keep him in my Instagram account when he doesn't even wish me a happy birthday? Initially, he showed really good interest. The last time we met, I was in his arms and we had the best New Year's. He even cried with me because of how our relationship was up and down. But I was trying to do my best to hold it together despite being already broken from a previous relationship. So then my question to you becomes, if you're saying you're broken from a previous relationship, have you even healed from that relationship yet? I was trying to mend things with him. He told me that I was the first person to treat him right. What is that? What? But now he doesn't even pick up my calls. What do you think I should do? Okay. Thank you for the question, Yala. Two things here that I want to address and be very clear on. I do not ever advise any of you, first of all, to have a roster of people and date multiple people at once. I also don't advise you guys to end a relationship and then immediately get into a new one before you can even think about the last relationship. It's just not healthy, and you never end up building a good, solid relationship with someone off of the back of an old relationship, because you have to be able to process the emotion of the old relationship so that you can actually properly move forward. If you're still talking about you're broken from your previous relationship, that does not sound good to me. That does not sound like you've worked through the emotion of the relationship yet before you're actually here now. You understand what I'm saying? So that's number one. Maybe I'm confused on the timelines, but you saying that you met him in the process of breaking up with your boyfriend, that already sounds very iffy to me. And I don't like the way that sounds, because you're saying in the process as if to imply, yeah, there was a period of time where I was still with him, my ex-boyfriend, but me and this guy were at the very least talking inappropriately for me having a boyfriend. That's what that makes me feel. I could be wrong, but that's what that makes me feel, and I don't like that. You understand what I'm saying? And so even aside from that, and aside from you not being ready emotionally to be in a new relationship, in terms of what we just discussed here today, and how guys, if a guy's not interested, like what are the things that he'll be doing? One of the things we literally discussed is this constant chit chat with no end goal here. And so I get that you guys were seeing each other a little bit, but as it stands now, you guys don't even talk, right? Even over the phone, and he's kind of gone ghost on you, right? He doesn't, like you said, he doesn't pick up your calls. So there is nothing left for you there. You're not seeing the guy. You're not even speaking to the guy over the phone. You're not texting the guy. So there's nothing left for you there. There is no strategy that is meant to come out of thin air where I'm going to be like, okay, so when you post this, this is what's going to make him come back to you. And this is what's going to make, no, none of that's going to work. Okay. And excuse me. I know that it's painful to realize that, but the reality of it is there is no job that you can do to get a guy who's not interested in you more interested in you. And he's clearly shown you that he's just not interested in you. Like you said, he doesn't even wish you a happy birthday. So like, I get that you're confused because of what he said to you when you guys were together, but you have to understand, like, what people say and what people do can be two totally different things. You're better off just going by what they do as the truth to what they actually feel. So in this scenario, don't concern yourself with him crying on your shoulder and talking about, ups and downs and you treat him right, all that BS. Focus your mind on the fact that he doesn't even pick up your calls now. Okay. Whatever the reason is, whether he's stressed out, he's got a new job, he's got a new whatever it is, he's got whatever situation. At the end of the day, if he's not picking up your calls and he's not even answering you or acknowledging your existence, it's because he's not that interested in you, or maybe in some strange case, he may have found a new girl to focus his time and attention on that lives closer to him. And that's the reality. It's also part of the reason why I tell all you guys, stop with these stupid, silly long distance relationships, because majority of the time, the guy that you like and are investing your time and energy into is building real relationships physically, and in some cases, even emotionally, with other women who live in their area. So it's pointless for you to be trying to build relationships with guys who don't live in your area, only to realize that that same guy that you like is sleeping with girls in his area. You're better off just building relationships and guys in your area. Unless the guy that's not in your area is 10 times as interested in you and 10 times as intentional with you. And we've talked about that before in long distance relationships, because some of you don't realize that if you're going to do a long distance relationship, you literally he has to be twice as in love with you. He has to be twice as interested in you. He has to be twice as intentional with you, because it's not easy to just be in a relationship where you can't see that person. So he has to really want you and want you specifically. And some of you don't realize how intense that intention has to be. And you just fool around with the guy and it goes nowhere. So Yella, you're in a situation where it's going nowhere. And the best thing for you to do is withdraw yourself and stop focusing all your time and energy on trying to figure out what he wants from you and if he likes you or not, so that you can properly move forward. And I do think that you need to spend some time just healing from your past relationship in the first place. You understand what I'm saying? And as it relates to Instagram, yeah, remove him off Insta. There's nothing left there for you. Remove him off Insta. And if you know you're a fiend, that you check his profile and you can't help yourself from checking what he's doing, block him for yourself so that you don't have to feel the need to check up on what he's doing. Okay. Next here we have, let's see. Okay. Lots of premium questions, guys. So gotta answer these. Next we have here, I already answered this one. Yes. Here, I love you, Ladder. You said you already answered me premium. Please skip this. Thank you. What did I do with my XTT says? Okay. So TT says, hi, Tomisin. I'm 23. I dated a guy who's 26 for 1 year, with both of us aiming for marriage. Being Muslim, marrying young is a priority if we find the right person. Despite compatibility in many ways, we had petty arguments. After 1 year, he ended it. So I'm trying to understand aiming for marriage. So you're not engaged, okay? Because I know in the Muslim culture, you guys get engaged fairly quickly. There's not really that, you guys don't do the like dating. You know what I mean? Like dating is kind of a Western thing where this is my boyfriend or my girlfriend. You guys kind of just hop right into like, basically like we're kind of like engaged now if we know like it's serious. After 1 year, he ended it, citing the arguments as a deal breaker. Okay. We stayed in touch and went on dates, but he randomly ghosted me after 3 months. Okay, so yeah, this is part of the problem is what were you doing there? Going on dates for what? To go back into the relationship? If it was a deal breaker, why go out on dates then? I took this as a sign to move on and heal and lost romantic feelings. I talked to other guys, went on dates, and felt I finally let go of the hope that we get back. This is when he comes back into your life. Watch. I did think about him often, but not in a love type of way. But that could be because I wasn't developing any hard romantic feelings for the guy I was talking to. 6 months later, he called me and we walked and went on dates, of course. It feels like the same as before to both of us. He talked about our future marriage and claimed to have worked on his issues, like communication. This caused our petty arguments. Tried to be objective, not some progress, but also in areas still needing improvement. Recently, I told him I didn't want to continue going on dates without clarity on marriage or if this will lead to a serious relationship, because I don't want to get attached and go through another healing process. He said he can't be sure about marriage yet and wanted to take things slow. He didn't want to force marriage. I said, I'm not sure either and need to see if he fully changed without me having to tell him. He thinks as of now, we can't take it to the next step. This hurt because I wanted the reassurance of commitment, because why else would he come back? I'll tell you. I didn't give him pineapples and don't plan on it till things progress with our relationship. He knows, but is trying to initiate things sometimes. Shocker. I don't take it past the makeout, so he can't use my body. I'm staying cautious, but starting to have feelings again. So trust me, this is going to break you eventually. I'm unsure if I should cut him off or continue taking things slow. From your POV, what are his real intentions? Why did he return? And is it worth hoping for marriage given he continued uncertainty despite knowing me for so long? He also wants to get married / is ready. Okay, that's a really bad sign that you would say that and then say that he said he wants to take things slow with you. Okay, let me explain this and break this down to you so that you can understand. He came back to you for one or two reasons, and I've talked, actually there's several reasons, but these are usually the main ones. and I've talked about this in a whole live show. He came back because he went to the outside world and he realized he either can't get what he was getting from you, from other girls. So what you were giving him, what you were offering him, the things that you did from him, he's not going to be able to easily get that from other women. So it humbled him in that sense. Or he went out into the world and in the process of trying to date new people, he realized he's not as hot stuff as he once imagined. So the quality of women that you are, right? Whether it be with your looks, the way you carry yourself, your attractiveness, all that good stuff. The quality of woman you are, he was thinking, yeah, I can get me another bad bee so easy just by going on and moving on and dating other girls. Then in the process of dating these other bad bees, trying to date these other bad bees, he realized he's not that much of hot stuff. And he really can't get a woman that was as good as you were to him and for him and in general. And so that realization is humbling. And so they come back a lot of times humble and, being like, yeah, my bad. I said I wanted to break up, but never mind now. You understand what I'm saying? Or, right, what could have happened is the fact that, like I said, he kind of realized that what he thought his life would be without you, just in general, is not that. Okay. And the reality of it is, if he's going to come back to you, and I've mentioned this in a show before, if he's going to come back to you, right, and he wants you, you are the one that sets all the standards and expectations and holds all the cards now. The ball's in your court and you have all the leverage. Because if he broke up with you and said, this is a deal breaker, you moved on with your life, and then he came back into your life, you tell him, buddy, you're not going to get any single opportunity or chance with me if you don't show up for me the way that I expect you to show up. So I want this to be very clear to you, TT. When he this is the next time you have a conversation with him, I want you to make this very clear. Hopefully this is in person. I want you to make this very clear. This with us is done. Unless you approach me ready to be in a serious long-term relationship with me, and like you said, for you, it's marriage. Unless you approach me because you're ready for marriage and you're ready for us to build into a marriage and you will have a very serious relationship from the start. If you are not approaching me on that type of energy, this is done. You're not going to speak to me. Don't text me. Don't call me. Don't reach out to me. Don't talk to my friends. Don't pull up where I'm at. I don't want to see you or hear from you. Okay? And you need to be very clear with the fact that this is absolutely unequivocally done. That we're not speaking, that we are nothing. And I even want you to go as far as saying, I'm going to begin dating other people who are taking me and a relationship with me seriously. Okay? Right? And I want you to make this very clear. Leave it for him. Say, I don't care what you choose to do. I don't care what you want. If you want to take things slow, that's perfectly fine. Go somewhere else with that. But just know the only way I'm going to speak to you is if you're prepared for marriage. Any other way or circumstance outside of that, I'm not speaking to you. Point blank, period. And then from there, I don't need you to say anything else to him. Just move on. Okay? Don't say anything else to him after that. So if that's a conversation that you need to have with him, I'd advise you to have that conversation in person with him because that's when it'll be the most impactful. So schedule a time to see him and meet him to discuss this. Make that very clear. And then after that, I want you to delete his number and block. And you don't have to block him, but I want you to never speak to him again. That way he understands, because remember, we just talked about urgency today. That way he understands that if he's going to get access to you, he need better have a sense of urgency in his approach to you. If he thinks that he's going to be able to sit around, relax, take things slow, right? And just, I'll see where things go. I don't know if I'm ready for marriage with you right now. I don't know if I'm ready to build something serious with you right now. Cool. If you're not ready, go off and frolic somewhere in a flower room. Don't come here wasting my time. Because my time is valuable and I'm desirable. And there's lots of people who would gladly take your place. I don't care if it's you, right? I know that sounds mean, but you have to present yourself that way. I don't care if it's you. You think that you're the only person that wants to marry? Are you? You must have lost your marbles. Do you know how many thousands of men are prepared to do the same thing that you are trying to do here? Do you know how many thousands of men are prepared to marry me and do everything that I want them to do and meet my expectations? If you're not ready to do that, bye. I actually would like you to run away. Please don't walk, run. I don't want you to be here. I don't care if you're here. I'm not losing any sleep. And you know what the guys do when you humble them like that? They go, whoa. What got into you? And they go, damn, maybe I'm not as hot as I once thought I was. Maybe I'm not, the best thing since sliced bread like I once thought I was. Maybe her whole world doesn't revolve around me like I once thought it did. They'll humble themselves, and then they have a decision to make. It's either I get access to you by approaching you the right way, how you expect me to approach you, or I don't have access to you. So depending on his pain threshold and how much interest he actually has in you, he's going to make a decision, and it's going to be one or the other. But at the very least, you'll have clarity instead of confusion. Okay, so that's my advice to you. Next here we have, let's see, after TT, it is Blowed, okay? So Blowed says, how to stop being a hater. By the way, guys, if you guys want to get into the premium section, all you got to do is go into the link in my bio if you're on TikTok and click where it says Relationship Advice Premium. You donate to the show, and when you donate to the show, you put in your username and the title of your question, and then you come over here and you ask your question, and everything will be all good, okay? So if you don't have a username yet, create one so that you have the right username and the right title of your question, and then you donate to the show. Make sure you donate to the show, though, because I can verify if you didn't. And the same thing applies for those of you on YouTube. All you got to do is go into the pinned comment up top there or look in my link in my description, okay? So how to stop being a hater. Blowed says, good afternoon, Tomisin. I am 21. I'm going to try my best to not make this a sob story. Okay, good. I am a recovering people pleaser and have made many impulsive decisions in my life and find it hard to forget things that I have done without thinking first, okay? Whether it is answering a question of some stranger asked me the wrong way or responding actively to betrayal or mistreatment or self-sabotage. I have grown out of it 100%. I have grown out of 100% of each companionship I have partaken in before 21. Okay. And the only person I really have a consistent companionship with is my mother. I assume due to my lack of boundaries and my people-pleasing tendencies, I tend to drive people away, repel the public, or get used. By the way, guys, I want you to all, I'm glad, Blowed, that you're understanding this, because this is true. The more of a people pleaser you are, you don't actually end up having more friends. You actually end up having less friends because people only come into your life to use you and then they throw you away. Okay? And also, it's very repulsive to people when you're a desperate people pleaser. They never like you or are able to be attracted to you, whether it be as a friend or romantically, when you're like a desperate people pleaser. It's very repulsive to people, so just keep that in mind. For example, in high school, I dated a guy. His friends wanted to be my friends. And of course, when we broke up, they began to dislike me. I mean, that's natural. They're not really your friends. They're your guys' friends. Okay, you can't forget that. And I tried to rekindle those relationships out of desperation. Horrible. Or a more recent time where a guy stood me up twice in the same day. Wow. I don't think I've ever heard of that before. Getting stood up twice in the same day is insanity. Only for him to allow me, wow. I didn't expect that. Only for me to allow him to jackrabbit himself inside of me after he apologized for it. You are deep into people-pleasing territory. Oh, I'm glad you sent me this message. At this point, I was not aware of the concept that telling people how I really feel upfront and overpouring into others will only inconvenience me, or that I set myself up for failure when making decisions emotionally. I'm glad that you're having some self-awareness here, because that is horrible what you said up here. I've always felt the need to be truthful about my intentions and feelings with people under the impression that those people will return the favor. They never will. Everyone's looking out for themselves, so you have to be looking out for yourself. Not going to lie to you. Up until you humbled me and prescribed that good dose of reality, I'm glad. But I feel that these experiences have made me insufferable to be around. Also, being in situations where people have not committed to me only to find out they are committed to others. Once again, a symptom of being a people pleaser. Always being pushed off to the side for another girl and having to deal with women disliking me over men that I've dealt with, or even just my aura. You then go on to say, one of these girls I found out he's a guy, was messing was messing with someone else while with me. Appeared on my For You page on TikTok a few days ago. Also before that, there was a colleague of mine. I had a best friend that was friends with her, but we still would hang out together sometimes, that he was messing with also. The friendship ended because I learned a little too late that they were talking about me and that they were genuinely on her side, not mine. A few other friendships ran their course before then, but that was the last friendship standing. So I'm officially friendless. Wow. I have moved on and have taken your advice so far, but as a result of these occurrences, there are so many voices in my head. Anytime I see an attractive woman my age, planting the concept that she might have a history with him, is currently dealing with him, or may be somewhere in her camera roll. Wait, what? Or in her messages. This is like really, you're like torturing yourself with these thoughts. Not that you're in control of it, but this is like you're torturing yourself literally. If you're thinking that random strangers on the street are dealing with the guys that you liked, it's just, that's insane. Even though we separated over a year ago, so clearly you still have a lot of healing to do. If you're still thinking like this about random people that you see on the street and you're getting that triggered, you still have a lot. You should not be dating at all. Not at all. Not at all. For a while. You need some time. Though I have moved on from that guy, you haven't. Okay. If you're still thinking like that, you have not moved on. You're like seeing ghosts still. Okay. You're having nightmares still. It seems to me as if I'm being haunted by you guys, I don't read this ahead of time, right? So I'm literally I just said you're like seeing ghosts still. And you just said you're like being haunted by him and his roster. I told you, right? I'm telling you this from actually a place of experience. I'm a real person, a real human being with real emotions. I can feel what you're saying right now. Okay. During some self-reflection, I've considered being jealous. At the same time, I don't believe that. Simply because I don't have a reason to be. That's not how emotions work. Emotions aren't based in logic. So just because you don't have a reason to be jealous, that doesn't mean that you're not going to have emotions towards the situation. Rather than trying to force yourself to believe that you don't have emotions towards the situation, it's better to accept them and figure out how you can work alongside them or work through them so that they're no longer holding you back. Right, guys? Having emotions is not about, trying to not have the emotion. Having the emotion is about understanding the emotion and the why of the emotion so that you can understand how to like work with it and work alongside it so that you can get through it and not have it be something holding you down forever. Okay. I have everything they all already do. So you can't be thinking like that. See, now you're thinking of why them and not me. That's not a way to be thinking. Beauty, youth, and my future. I've already had the guy. On top of that, I used to want things more for others than myself, and I've never been that type. But it's eerie to me that the girls I've shared him with are frequently popping up on my social media. So, everywhere I turn, there's a girl I already know or that is associated, that I've associated with that messes with him. So, okay, this is what I call the, I guess we could call it the new car theory. So what happens is when you purchase a new car, or even if it's a used car, it's just new to you, you start to see that same car everywhere because the car that you just purchased has now entered what I call your bubble, your space. So because that's your car now, it actually is important to you and you're able to recognize it out in public because that's the car that you have. So your mind can actually spot the car every time that you come across it because it's the car that you have, right? However, the car hasn't started becoming, more people haven't started purchasing it or driving it around town simply because you got it. It's the same amount that the car is present in your life. It's just your ability to recognize that. It's called the art of noticing. Your ability to recognize that changes because the car has entered your bubble, your space in your life. So I say that to say, in your situation, part of the reason why you feel like everywhere you turn, you see the girls that he's messed with is because you've built a narrative in your mind that everywhere you turn, you're going to see a girl that he's messed with. So you start to only be able to notice the times in your life when you see a girl that he's messed with. And in some cases, I can assure you, in some cases, you're actually meeting girls who he hasn't messed with, but You convince yourself in your mind that for some reason, shape, or form, because of who she follows, whose pictures she's liked, what comments she's commented on, you convince yourself that, oh, this must be another girl, even if it's not necessarily one of those other girls. You understand what I'm saying? It's one of the ways that your mind plays tricks on you by building narratives that you start to believe in. Okay. In combination with that, I have allowed horrible behaviors in the past. It makes my veins itch. Wow. So if you're saying things like this, you're not yet ready to be dating and you're not yet over this guy. Okay. Letting him snatch me up whenever I grabbed his phone. What? Messaging other girls about him having pineapples with him after he effed me over twice in one day. Wow. I think actually your content reminds me of those things. LMAO. Not to blame you at all, but you definitely rip into our butts and I appreciate it. Good. Wait, what is this here? Okay. It saddens me reflecting on all of the opportunities I've ruined due to the anxiety a man brought me. Always being paranoid when I see attractive girls in public. Like I said, you need some time to be single. If you're seeing attractive girls and thinking about your ex and your ex being with those girls, that is insanity. Okay. And always feeling like women may not like me because she knows something about me. That's insane. Okay. Going forward, how should I go about rewiring my mind and accepting what I've allowed and forgiving myself and making new friends in adulthood without letting those voices interfere with my life? I've already had hobbies. I love to go places alone, but I love being able to interact with people, especially women. I would love to have a friend group or maybe even a couple of girlfriends one day, but I feel like I'm just a crazy hater to everyone, and that is not who I want to be. Thank you for answering my question. Also, I wanted to include this because I'm not the only one that's had this experience. Does this open right here? When a pretty girl comes through the drive-thru, but I feel like she F with my man. Is that how you girls feel? I don't know. Is that a girl? Is that a girl feeling? That's crazy. Anyways, thank you for the video. So, Blowed. My response to you is, I actually think you have to go about this in the reverse. I think in the situation that you're in, I know that in your mind, you've convinced yourself that you're over the situation, but I actually think in a lot of ways, you're not over the situation. And the time that you need to be spending is not yet going out. I think you need to take a step back and you need to spend some time with you. So just in the house. And I specifically want you to spend some good solid time writing. Okay. I want you to get your notebook out, or if you're a corporate girl, you like to type, get your Microsoft Word out. And I want you to type in your Microsoft Word or in your notepad. I want you to write everything that happened in your past relationship. I want you to write everything good. I want you to write everything bad. I want you to write everything that you experienced, the highs and the lows. I want you to put it out on a piece of paper. It's going to be plenty of pieces of paper, okay? You're going to be writing, and I want you to write this in detail. You're going to be writing until your hand cramps. The reason I want you to write that out is because I want that to be like physical evidence of what your relationship was, right? And I also, after you write it out, because you're going to write like 10 pages here. You already wrote me like 3-4 paragraphs. You're going to write like 10, 12 pages here, maybe 20. After you write out everything that relationship consisted of, I want you to read that piece of paper out to yourself. Nobody else needs to be around. I want you to read that piece of paper out. Now, very specific. I want you to be as authentic to you as you can in that piece of paper. So if you want to curse out a bunch of that effing idiot, he took me out and he stood me up twice and then he forced me to do this and then I can't believe. I want you to be as raw and authentic as you can. Don't filter anything. You're not speaking to anyone but you. Write it on a piece of paper, and then I want you to read it all, okay? You're going to read all of it from start to finish. I don't care if it's 20 pages. You're going to read it all, and the reason I want you to do that is because I want you to get those feelings and thoughts out of your head onto a piece of paper, and I want you to feel like you said them. You know what I'm saying? Said them all out loud. Say all the thoughts of, and I even want you to describe how you feel now, how you just described to me. I see them all everywhere. So I want you to be specific and say each individual situation where you've seen a girl and thought about what you thought about and thought about the fact that maybe he slept with her, maybe he did this with her. I want you to go and talk about, write out every individual situation that has happened and each individual thought that you've had, each individual conclusion that you've come to. I want you to be so detailed. Tell me what she was wearing. Tell me what she looked like. Tell me what you think they did. Tell me how you think they met. tell me, say everything in the script in the notes that you write. Okay, be as detailed as possible. The reason I want you to do all of that is because when you write that all out and then you read it all out, what's gonna happen is you're gonna feel like you actually expressed the thoughts that were in your mind. Because you're right now, because you've experienced this and you have these thoughts, you're gonna feel like the thoughts are eating your brain. You understand what I'm saying? You're gonna feel like they're literally eating your brain, and you even said they make your nerves and your veins itch, right? You're gonna feel like those thoughts are eating your brain because they're inside your brain. When you write them out until you're physically tired, right? When you write them out until your hand cramps, when you speak them out until your voice is hoarse, right? You actually feel like you've let something inside of you out of you, okay? It's kind of like a physical expression of like what's in the spirit. You're like dumping it. You're like throwing up on the page, okay? And you're also speaking about it until you're tired. What's going to happen after that is you're going to feel like it's unnecessary to continue revisiting those feelings and emotions because they're already written out on a page. And as you already written them out on a page and you've already said them out loud, you're going to feel like, okay, yeah, I do understand that I thought this girl that I saw out slept with him, but like I already wrote that on my page. And like I already went into detail about everything I thought, about exactly how I felt and exactly how it made me feel. So then you're going to start, what's going to happen is after a while, it's going to start to feel pointless to continue revisiting a thought which you already expressed out in detail. You understand what I'm saying? So as you continue having that thought, your mind's going to say, yeah, it's the same thought that I already expressed, that I already wrote out, that I already said out loud. So yeah, I get it. And you kind of like remove its power and you remove its ability to like itch at your brain as if you feel like you need to get it out somewhere, right? Because once you write it, right, that's physical, and you say it, now you're hearing yourself talk about it, you kind of feel like you got it out and you expressed it. It's the same thing as, you know, when you're in an argument and you feel like, I should have said this or I should have said that, and then you feel like the argument or the talk that you had with someone is unfinished because you're like, the next time I see you, I got to say this and I got to say that. Imagine if you could actually say everything that you wanted to say to the person and you never had to feel like you had more to say. Then when you look back on the situation, you'll think to yourself, yeah, we had the talk, but I said everything I wanted to say and I expressed everything I wanted to express. So it kind of takes away its power because you're kind of like, when you think back on it, you're just kind of like, I said it already. I mean, I can think about it more times, but like I already said it, I already wrote it out, I already expressed it. So like, yeah, we get it now. And so that will be that I think is what you need more than anything, because I feel like the thoughts in your mind right now are itching your brain and they're preventing you from actually moving forward. I don't think what you need right now is to be jumping right into hanging out with girlfriends and hanging out with this person and hanging out with that person and being outside. I don't think you need to be outside right now. I think you need to be in your own mind, in your own thoughts, expressing them out so that you can feel you first get them out of you. Right? Get rid of those thoughts by getting them out on a page and saying them out loud so that you never have to feel like there's anything that's been left unsaid or any thought that's been left unexpressed in your mind. That way, when you do start going out and you do start spending time out into places, you can actually feel like refreshed and not feel like you have things in you that haven't yet been expressed outwardly, because then you're going to feel like you have to talk about that with friends or new people or something like that. So that would be my honest advice to you, Blood. All right. Next here we have, let's see. Okay. We'll go 30 minutes more today. Okay. So next we have Paulinette. Okay. So Paulinette says, how should I act, or should I act unbothered? Paulinette says, sorry, I donated before signing up. Okay, I got your verification. Don't worry. I've been talking to a guy for a few weeks and we went on a date on Saturday. We had a good date, and the same day after the date, we were chatting as normal, but the day after, he didn't reach out all day, even through my last message to him the night before. Even though my last message to him the night before was a question. He messaged me after a day and answered my question, but no acknowledgement. He didn't reply for a whole day. It is now the second day and he has not reached out, and I don't want to reach out because I sent the last message. If he eventually reaches out, should I express I expect more communication from the guy? I want to express how I feel, but I don't want to come across like I'm too bothered as we only have been on one date. Paulinette, so glad that you asked this question, and I'm so glad I got the chance to answer it before you made some mistakes here. So my honest advice to you, do nothing, okay? You've only went on one date with this man. I want you to never forget that the people you're going out on a date with are strangers. Don't have in your mind that just because I'm going out on a date with a guy that this is going to be my husband. I know it feels so good to fantasize that, yeah, maybe this date that I'm going on with this guy, this is the guy I'm going to spend the rest of my life with. I know that it feels good to fantasize about that. The reality of it is, just for the sake of numbers and statistics, statistically, it's not that likely. Not that you should be believing that you'll never find anyone. You will. But like, you have to understand, you're going to date a lot of strangers and they're not going to be who you're looking for. So I say all that to say, you just take a chill pill. I know that you enjoyed the date and you were chatting like normal and everything was good, but I don't want you to put so much of your value on what some other stranger thinks of you. I want you to approach dating and talking stages from the standpoint of, what do I think about you, right? I want you to write in your notebook and in your wish list of what you expect from a guy, what you want in a relationship with a man, and what you expect in a relationship with a man. And I want you to solely be thinking of, when you go out on these dates, are you showing character traits or personality traits for what I expect of a man in a relationship with a man who's going to get access to me? That's all you need to be thinking about. Not, oh, does he not like me because he's not replying to me or not responding to me? What should I do to, you know what I mean? Like, should I do more? Should I do less? Should I adjust? No, don't do anything. You're the woman. If he wants you and he's interested in you, he will approach you. I understand in your mind, you're thinking it's communication. If I express to him that I expect more communication. No. I'm here to get you what you want. What you want is for him to pursue you more. Because the reality of it is, you telling him that you expect more regular communication is not actually going to get him to text you more. It never works, okay? The best thing for you to do is to show him that if he's not ready to show up for you the way that you expect him to show up for you, he just won't get access to you. So if he does eventually reach out to you, right, after a week or after however long, you have a decision to make. You can either decide to message him again, right? Message him back and just pretend like you don't care enough to address him about not reaching out to you because your life is going on. Okay. That's one powerful way to do it, because sometimes guys come back into your life or reach back out thinking that you'll be like, where have you been? Right. And it's an ego boost to them because they know how much you're waiting for them hand and foot for him to respond to you. So you don't want to give him that ego boost. You don't even acknowledge it if he comes back. Now, if it's way months, and he then reaches out after months and pretends like nothing happened, then just don't respond to him at all. So you have a decision to make, because you have one or two choices when he reaches out. Either you just let him go on like nothing happened, right? Because you don't want to give him the ego boost of being like, oh, I was waiting for you this entire time. I would actually advise you, if he comes back to you, because you've only been on one date, if he comes back to you, this is a pro tip. If he comes back to you after like a couple weeks or whatever, not too long of a time, but not too, like it's been some time, I would advise you to say something like, who is this? Who's texting me right now? Right? When he just reaches out and says, hey, be like, who this? The guy you went on a date with? No, seriously, tell me your name. Who is this? I don't know. Who did I go on a date with? Right? Humble him so he knows that when he messages you back after a week, your life has been going on. And then when he says, yo, I didn't message you for a week because I was busy, my phone died, just be like, oh, it's been a week? I didn't even realize. Right? Then he'll be like, damn, does she not care at all? What was she doing in this whole week? She didn't even realize I didn't reach out to her. It will humble him, number one, and it'll also show him that him withdrawing from you is not going to initiate anxiety in you. So that's not like a viable option for him if he wants to get you to chase him. that actually withdrawing from you will just mean that you move on with your life, and likely one day you'll just forget about him completely. Okay. So that's my advice to you on what to do if he comes back to you. Now, if it's months and months that he reaches out after a while, then just forget about it. You know what I mean? Don't even respond to him. Don't even bother with him. There's no point. Okay. Let's do one more in here, and then I will do a couple free ones. Okay, so thank you so much to you see I appreciate you guys for real. I see how much you all care. Thank you so much to what's the username here? Thank you so much to Hefme, who donates $65. Look at that, guys. $65 she donated to ask her question here. All right. I need your opinion, please. All right, Hefma. What would you say it like that? Me and my manager are in a relationship. This has already started off horrific. Already. He told me that he's in love with me, but no pineapples. And nobody knows in my work. This is a horror story. After 4 months in a relationship, he starts to ghost me. So I despair. After months, he started coming. Why did you type this out like this? Can you guys put it in essay format, please? This is weird. After months, he started coming to my place many, many times without talking to you. How can he come to your place without talking to you? He just shows up. One day I start to chat him. In the beginning, he was happy that he didn't open my message. I got angry, blocked him without telling him any words, only blocked him. After 1 month, he sends me an SMS, not on WhatsApp, and he told me he needs to talk to me about work. That means he knows he's blocked. I called him and did the work and not talk to him about our relationship as a manager. Are you his? No, he's your manager. You're a manager. Then he started chatting me 3 times a week only about work. Okay, that's fine then. Perfectly fine. In the beginning, I was happy because I think it will be better in the future. Then nothing happened. I feel not comfortable. I sent him messages to stop messaging me. There are people saying they can help him, not me. What? I told him that I respect him and wish him to respect my order. Like your order of him to not message you about anything not work related. Now 5 months about this message, I totally despair. He didn't try to talk to me. I'm confused. I thought that's what you wanted, that he wouldn't talk to you. I guess it's a girl thing. But many, many times he comes down to my place. I feel like he wants to see me because he is my manager. He can call anyone. Why he comes down by himself? I also heard they will offer him the company manager. Now I'm better, thank God. I daily see your show, and I wish to know your opinion and advice on my story. So my advice to you, Hefme, I think that the best thing for you to do, and the best thing for any of you to do when you're ever in a situationship with someone you work with, is to keep it strictly professional and work related. The worst thing any of you can do, let this be a warning to all of you. The worst thing any of you can do is date a coworker. Even worse than that, date a boss that is in control of your salary and your position. Because you will never, ever, ever, ever feel like you are allowed to have boundaries in the relationship if he is in control of your ability to work there and get paid or not. It's very horrible for you. Never do that, okay? For those of you that have done that, and for Hefme that has done that, the best advice I have for you, you have to set a clear boundary, and you have to accept the fact that this is only you are the only one that loses even if you get into a relationship with this man. So I want you to never forget that even if you build something with him and it starts working out, the moment it doesn't work out, you're the only one that loses. He's the company manager. He's not getting fired. You're the one that's going to get fired. And he's going to put the word in for you to get fired if you guys break up. So what that means is, in the future of your relationship, this is what I'm trying to help you understand. You should never even want to build anything with him, because it's only detrimental to you and your life. Because when you guys have an argument or a disagreement, even if he's in the wrong, you're not allowed to have boundaries because he's your manager. You'll feel the pressure that I can't stand up for myself or withdraw from him or have any sort of boundaries, because the moment he's upset that I have boundaries, I'm going to be in fear of losing my job. So you're always going to allow things to slide, and he'll be able to literally treat you any way he wants to, right? Anyhow he wants to. He can cheat on you. He can talk to other girls. He can do whatever he wants to do with you and have absolutely no respect for what you want, because you're in fear that you'll lose your job if you stand up for yourself. So this is what I'm trying to understand. This is what I'm trying to help you understand. You should never, ever, ever even imagine or fantasize about the idea of being with him ever again, because the only person that loses if you do end up together is you. The only person that loses. Okay. He doesn't lose. Okay. And at the end of the day, if you're not looking out for yourself, you're going to be the one that ends up getting taken advantage of. And so you need to say to yourself, for my future and my well-being and my career, right? And my job, the best thing for me to do is to keep this strictly professional. And whether or not he's walking by your house, don't acknowledge it. Whether or not he's trying to message you or talk to you about anything non-work related, don't acknowledge it. The only thing you acknowledge of him is when he approaches you for something work related. Anything else outside of that, you do not speak to him, you do not talk to him, and you do not acknowledge him. If this continues to the point where, despite you not giving it any energy and setting that boundary, and it continues, I want you to take note of this. I want you to screenshot everything he's saying to you. Screenshot all the messages. Don't respond to any of them. Screenshot all of them. Keep them in a safe place. Build your file up so that you can go to HR and let them know, I've made it very clear that this manager should not be contacting me for anything non-work related. He's continued to do it, and I have an extensive file. Screenshots are the best thing made since sliced bread, because it's an extensive file that can't be denied or can't be he said, she said. And it makes it look even worse when he's texting you and messaging you and you're not responding, okay? Then when you take that to HR, you'll have a clear case to get him removed from that position, okay? That's obviously extreme, but whenever you're dealing with things like this, it gets extreme, which is why I always advise against you guys dating someone that you work with, or dating especially someone that is your boss or manager, because you can't have, how are you supposed to have standards in your relationship now? It doesn't make sense. Okay. So that's my advice to you. Thank you for the generous donation as well. All right. Let's go over into some of these free questions here. I told you guys I'm going over today because I love you guys so much. So we're going to scroll down. Go over to the free version. This is why I tell you guys, if you want to skip the line, you can, because you see how many questions we got in the free version. Hundreds of questions. You guys love asking questions and I love answering them. So there's a lot. Okay. So first in the free section, we have left confused. Okay. So Ella says, July last year, I met this guy. He was always the one to ask to hang out, probably once or twice a week. He's in med school. Though there was not much flirting, just long conversation, he wasn't the type to compliment. Initially, I got a friendly vibe. I asked him, he said he liked me more than that, and suddenly tried to kiss me. Wow, that was weird. But I wasn't ready. We eventually kissed, but I told him that I wanted to wait for pineapples until I was just older / in a relationship. I was 19 at the time, it's 19 to 20, and he's now, he was 21 at that time, okay? He got affectionate. I let him kiss me a lot. It's a gateway drug. For pineapples, he always pleaded, why not? He's trying to break you. He tried to convince me, like I just said, but he didn't want to make me uncomfortable. He's trying to break you. When he went away for a week with his family, he continued sending me updates every second, but never like flirty. Except he brought me a bag. What type of bag? Chanel bag? Telfair bag? What type of bag? Anyways, as time went on, I noticed our cuddling died down a bit over time. He was sexist and said I'm not like other girls for being down to earth. Okay. I'm naturally a people pleaser. We know what happens with people pleasers. However, when I was a bit rude, not rude, but confrontational, small critique, he would suddenly act super affectionate like at the start. Yeah, that's because guys love mean girls. Do you guys not know that? But in general, I validated him a lot. Horrible decision. End of October, he asked to hang out, but normally I hang out like normal, and I dropped stuff off to go again. After we just slept at his house, like usual, don't worry, no pineapples, good. But I was still giving him a lot of affection because at this point, I really liked him. I got the vibe he had a smug attitude. It's pretty funny that you said that. I told him he has a big ego jokingly, and he agreed with me. Usually that's why he likes the fact that you're mean to him. He's not used to girls being mean to him. He's used to getting exactly what he wants. Usually he messaged me every day and straight away, whenever I got home, but something unusual happened and he didn't contact me until like 4 days after. I was like, waiting. This is the problem. When you get anxious like this is when the script gets flipped. You were being mean and he liked it. Please tell me you didn't turn around and do the worst. This texting finished a few days later. He didn't continue. I was left so confused because he had been initiating prompt text messages with me every day for like 4 months, asking about my day, etc. My brain was wired. Anyways, after 2 weeks of not texting / seeing each other, I gave in. Anyways, explaining if he wants to be in a relationship or we can just be just friends. I can 100% guarantee you his response was not what you wanted it to be. Let's see what his response was. He responded, I get that. It's a weird thing. I don't know if I can 100% dedicate myself now. You are such a lovely person, and I don't want to make you feel bad in any way. Maybe then for now, friends. Guys, I always tell you, whenever you try to confront a man and get him to like, hey, I want you to know if you want to build this relationship with me, it's now or never. You're always going to be disappointed because you're going to realize that the answer is never. So you're better off reading his actions and just responding to it as the answer, as opposed to trying to get an answer out, a straight answer. Whenever you feel the need to get a straight answer out of a guy, it's done. The confusion is a sign that he's not that interested in you. But I do enjoy, I should have put that as one of the points. But I do enjoy spending time with you. I said, okay, that sounds good. Thank you for that. And I appreciate it. That should be the last time you spoke to him because you don't need more friends, especially not friends that you were trying to be romantic with. I just needed to clarify everything and definitely remove my expectations. He replied, well, what are your expectations and what do you want? Isn't this crazy? He flipped the script on you and he basically is getting you to admit, hey, I want you, so I want to show you how bad I want you and describe how bad I want you. It's funny. It's funny. He's asking you what your expectations are and what you want as if you're the guy. Because I do really enjoy spending time with you, but like I just don't want to let you down because you're such a nice girl. What does that even mean? This is a word salad. I said I want to be certain really like him, etc. So you're letting him know I really like you, I really want you. So you're giving him all the power that he needs to know that I don't have to do nothing. He replied, I get that if we keep that. What? I understand things being in the middle is hard, and I like to keep company with you, and who knows what in the future has. So it's funny. Like I always tell you guys, information, the person with the most information wins. So he gave you a word salad that meant nothing. He didn't give you a yes, and he didn't give you really a no. He said, yeah, we'll be friends and things like that. See, but when you gave him the information of exactly what you felt about him, it's amazing. What he then did was adjusted his approach to you, and he gave you an answer that left the door open, knowing what you wanted so that he can extract from you what he wants, because he knows that the answer that he just gave you now, saying that let's see what happens in the future, makes you hopeful that maybe if I continue doing more, and maybe if I continue putting my best foot forward in this relationship, maybe even if I sleep with him, he'll end up liking me and want to be with me, and he'll actually eventually want this relationship to work. You see how when he got more information about you and what you wanted, he immediately made the switch to be in line with exactly what you're looking for or what would work for you. Okay, because knowing that you like him and then also him saying that he wants to be friends, that's like closing the door. He doesn't want to close the door because he still wants access to you. So immediately once he receives that information from you of what you're looking for and what you want, he immediately adjusts himself and realigns. Do you see how that works? This is like a perfect example of that, right? It's an immediate adjustment and realignment. Had 2 words of small talk after, was open-ended, but we never spoke since. I was disciplined through withdrawal. I felt like I was about to die. After a while, my feelings were gone. This year in April, I saw a friend at a party. My friend makes sure to invite the guy. I never had a conversation with him, but I had seen him before. I didn't think to go up to him nor mention anything to him. He came up to me. I'm so-and-so's best friend. He made fun of me for liking him and said he respects me. He told me that the guy said recently in front of others, including my friend, that he was too intellectually smart and I couldn't keep up with him. You see how them guys talk to you when they don't talk about you when they don't have no real respect for you? This is why it's best for you to just walk away and not try to convince a man to be interested in you. His friend told me that he's only here for the tea to pretend to pretend this conversation never happened. Wow. I felt manipulated. I let out a full-on angry message in my notes. Okay, but didn't send. Oh God. Thank you, Ella. I thought you were going to say you sent him a long angry message. Thank you. You are smarty pants. You are smarty pants. Later on, I talked to my friend and confirmed a couple months ago he got a girlfriend. So basically, you were not what he wanted. Okay, nothing wrong with that, but it was all a whole bunch of BS. He was leading you down a road to nowhere. He was not entertaining girls before, hadn't had a girlfriend since high school. Apparently, he started talking to more girls while in his current relationship. Now I reject every man I meet because I'm not fully in the mood. That's fine. You got to heal from the situation. If I had pineapples, I would have lost my mind. Good. See, thank God Ella did not sleep with this man. But this is why I say order of operations, guys, because you'll find out so much over the course of time with someone and you'll realize very quickly, I don't even like you and I don't want to be associated with someone like you. Okay, it's good that Ella was able to realize this before ever sleeping with him, because it's a lot less painful, I'm sure, for Ella to think back on the situation and say, wow, at least I didn't sleep with you. And, you know, even though it's over, that's sad. At least I didn't waste a body on you. I reinforced men are irrelevant for what I need to achieve in life. There's nothing wrong with that. You can have a period. You're young still, so there's a period of your life where you just need to focus on yourself, and there's nothing wrong with that. Okay, so Ella, I think you actually did the right thing here. I know that you said left confused, but I think in every step of the way, you made the right decisions. You didn't sleep with him. You didn't fold, although you got anxious a little bit in terms of reaching out to him and messaging him. You didn't give up. Good thing that it kind of like faded away. And then obviously when he got a girlfriend, you realize that definitely this is over for good. So there's nothing left for you there in that relationship. So that kind of helped you out because it helped you not be confused and continue being in limbo. But it also goes to show you that, see, this time where you were confused and you were trying to convince yourself, maybe he's not texting me or trying to see me for other reasons, and you thought it was best to kind of bring some clarity because you wanted him to give you a straight answer. The straight answer was the fact that he wasn't showing real, genuine interest in you. And that's what you should have taken from how he was treating you and approaching your situation as the truth. But I know that you wanted a straight answer because you were like, maybe it's not that, maybe it's not that. But clearly that was the answer, because you see, if he really wanted a girl, he would just pursue that girl and make that girl his girlfriend. So he had no problem with making a girl his girlfriend. He just didn't want to make you his girlfriend. Not saying that you're a horrible person or there's something wrong with you, but I just want you to understand the difference in a way a man will act when he actually wants you and is interested in you versus how he'll act when he's not that interested in you and he kind of is like, you know, you can stick around, but I don't really want us to do anything together or build anything together. And immediately when guys are talking like that, just don't waste your time. Don't ask him no more questions. Don't ask him what he wants. Don't ask him if he likes you. You have your answer. He's not that interested. Don't waste any more of your time. So Ella, you actually did a lot of this the right way. And I'm proud that you came out of it with learning from the situation, but also not making the mistake of giving yourself to him before learning all of this about him. Because imagine you had slept with him and then you hear this guy talking about, yeah, he was basically telling all of us that, he doesn't really respect you and that he was too intellectually smart for you and you couldn't keep up with him. Imagine how painful that would be, sleeping with a man and giving your mind, body, and soul to a man who talks like that about you to other people. And some of you are doing that. Right? That's why I tell you order of operations. You're dating strangers. You don't know those people. You can't trust those people. Okay? So hold off until you learn more about him. All right? But Ella, you did a lot of the right things here. Next we have here, I'm going to do, let's see how long this next one is. Okay. Wow. So many questions. So little time. Next we have here, So Yer says, clearly this was a popular one because a lot of people commented on what Yer said. So Yer says, the title of this is How to Get Him to Change His Verdict After What I Did. Yer says, so me and my ex broke up 4 months ago. The thing is, the day after we broke up, I had pineapples with someone while I was drunk. This is one of the most tragic things we've heard today in the Players Club Discord. I know that you're emotional, but what a horrible decision to make the day after breaking up with someone. Take some time for yourself. You got drunk, you slept with someone else. I called my ex while I was drunk and confess to him what happened. You made horrible decision after horrible decision after horrible decision. Wow. I understand we were broken up, so it shouldn't be a problem, but it's understandable that he was super upset. He said he felt like our whole relationship was nothing to me because of what I did. Okay. I know there's more to the message, but this is part of the reason why when we step into the Players Club, we talk so much about emotions, because not only can other people control you by manipulating your emotions, but also you can easily be controlled by your own emotions. Your sadness and anxiety and anger of breaking up with your boyfriend literally got you so overwhelmingly emotional that you couldn't even think rationally to yourself. You started drinking and then you immediately went and slept with a stranger that you don't know, that has not earned your trust or respect yet. Solely because your emotions were so overwhelming that you literally couldn't control yourself or stop yourself. Right? And this is why we have these conversations, because I want you to understand how your emotions are also affecting you and how they're actually ruining your life. You really have to, if you want to have a good life, you have to gain control over your emotions, and you can't allow them to control you like this. Because what you just did, what you just did here, I know the message is still going to go on, but what you just did here literally has ruined your chances of getting back with the guy, especially if the reason you guys ended was for something that you guys can recover from. Your emotions have now slapped you in the face and actually made it basically close to impossible to now get into a relationship with someone that maybe was possible for you to continue dating. Right? Solely because of an emotional decision to just, I'm so mad, I'm so upset, I'm just going to do whatever type of thing. Right? This is not to diss you, but I just, I want that to be a lesson to you that maybe you need to work on, controlling your emotions and figuring out how you can not start making irrational decisions because you're emotional. At the beginning, I was begging for his forgiveness and I begged for him back to the point where I looked crazy. So once again, being controlled by your emotions. I know I'm embarrassed too, but he didn't want me back. Later, I found out if I didn't sleep with someone the next day, he would have gotten back with me, no questions asked. I just told you. I told you guys, I don't read these ahead of times, but I know how relationships work. I've been in relationships. I know how this works, okay? This is the worst mistake you can make, right? Is not that you should never move on from a guy, but like the day after breaking up with someone, you immediately sleep with someone new. You're literally ruining your opportunity of ever figuring out or working through problems with that person, right? On top of that, you're not even ready to be intimate with the new person, so you shouldn't even be doing that anyways. Okay? You're just moving off of pure emotion. No ration, no thought process, no logic, okay? And like I just said, he was prepared for you guys to be together again. You couldn't even give it a whole 2 days, couldn't even be more than 48 hours. And yeah, so that ends up happening. During these 4 months, me and my ex have been sleeping with each other, but not getting back together. So you've been downgraded. What do you want me to say? You've been downgraded. You were the girlfriend before, and now he still sleeps with you, still gets access to you, and you're not his girlfriend, so he can sleep with whoever else he wants. He can even get a new girlfriend if he wants. So you've been downgraded. Congratulations. It's been bad. I just couldn't control myself. He said before, I just couldn't control myself. Where I lost my place. He said before to our mutual friend that he could call me anytime he wanted Squirtle. I died a little on the inside. Oh, God, save my people. I will work harder than the devil. I will work harder than the devil. I will not allow him to outwork me. I'll do 24-hour streams if I have to save my people. The man said to his friend that he could call you anytime he wanted Squirtle. Do you think that man has any sort of respect for you whatsoever? Let's go on. On our last link, I felt disgusted. So I told him if he didn't want a relationship, I didn't want to sleep with him no more. And he said, fair enough. The reason I'm so shooken up by this is because he thinks of you as such a joke, right? That even when you come and try to set boundaries, he's like, cool, whatever. I don't even think you're a serious person anyways. I don't take anything you say seriously. I always... It's why I tell all of you to never make compromises for these guys. You're thinking that guys will like you more because you make more compromises for them. They only end up respecting you less and thinking of you like a complete and utter joke. He has no fear. You're at the point, nothing you can say or even do will instill fear in him. He has no fear that you'll actually walk away from him. He thinks that you're so needy and desperate that like your entire life is him. So when you come and you say, hey, you're not going to get access to me unless, we're in a relationship, he's like, sure, whatever. He doesn't even care or take it seriously that you would follow through with that. You just become an utter joke that means nothing to him. And it's hard to recover from that once you're in that space. I then left him undelivered on Snap for 4 days to see if he would double text me, but he unadded me. Oh, God. Just give me a second, guys. This is it's really painful for me. I need a second. Oh my God. It's really painful, right? But it's so expected. It's so expected. Do you see how when you show yourself, perception is everything. When you show yourself to be someone who doesn't need to be respected, how people have less than zero respect for you, less than zero. You thought that you not messaging him for 4 days would give him anxiety and have him message you. He only said to himself, bruh, I care about her so little. If she's not going to talk to me, I'm going to unadd her. She's a useless part of my life. He confuses me because a week earlier, he also saw me at the gym with a different boy once and unadded then. And when I texted why he just told me, when you texted him why he unadded you, he just told me to go have fun with the guy at the gym instead, right? I know that you think that, oh, he did that because he likes me. No, I think he did that because he's like, look, I only want really easy access to her. If she's going to show any attention to other guys, I'm not fighting for her. So if you want to be with other guys, go be with other guys. I don't care. I'm not fighting for you. Do whatever you want, right? Note that he says I move weird, so I have a feeling he sees me as some girl who entertains too many men. No, you're thinking like a pick-me-sha, where you're thinking, oh my God, what should I do so that he likes me? Or what did I do that makes him not like me? This process of him not liking you or taking you as a joke started way, 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 way before this. Not since you've been talking to other men. Our relationship was super healthy and we both agreed it was good. I just wish we could have had what we had before. What should I try to do and change his verdict on me and consider so that he'll consider him missing me? I'm starting to think there's nothing I can do and I just need to accept that it is what it is. You're gaining a little bit of intelligence here because that's exactly what I was going to tell you. I still want him back, but I'm not showing it. And I've been keeping myself to myself and not acknowledging him by doing so. Do you think he misses me? Okay, absolutely not. Not even a little bit. I just love him, but the love is slowly dying. Okay, I want to be really honest with you. I'm gonna be mean to you because I think that you really need this year. Okay, I need to. This should be a newsflash to all of you. Okay, if you break up with a man and you want to get back into a relationship with him, the worst decision you can make, the absolute unequivocally worst decision you can make as a woman, is when you break up with a guy, is to sleep with a new guy. It is the surefire #1 Hall of Fame way to get that man to never, ever want to make you his girlfriend ever again. I'm not saying that you should never move on from guys or anything like that, but if you know when you break up with a man that you aren't yet ready to move on and you still might want to get back with him, the absolute last thing you should ever even think about doing is sleeping with another guy. Because that is a surefire way to get him to say to himself, okay, cool, it's actually done now. You've given yourself to another guy, it's actually done for real now. Okay? Also, what's going to happen, this is what's been happening to you here. What's going to happen is either he'll never speak to you again, or he'll take the anger that he feels that because this is what happened to you. I'm going to explain to you exactly like this. He took the anger that he felt when you called him and told him that you slept with another guy, right? He took that anger that he felt and he said, you know what? Rather than sitting around and being angry, I'm going to channel that energy, that anger into a strategy. I'm going to get her back in my life and I'm going to mess with her and play with her mind. I'm going to do whatever I want and I'm going to waste the rest of her life. For as long as I can waste her time, for as long as I can keep getting access to her, for as long as I can utilize her for my own pleasure, I will do that. He takes that anger and resentment he feels towards you, and he doesn't even tell you that he's super angry and upset. Instead, he invites you back in so that you can feel comfortable again, like, oh yeah, I'm so sorry, that was a mistake. And then he says, I'm going to make you feel pain and anger and sadness like you've never felt before. He wants to repay you. The feeling that you made him feel by sleeping with another guy, he wants to repay you that 100-fold. Are you following me? Right? And the reason I'm explaining this to you like that is because I want you to understand when this happened, you already lost. You should have already had in your mind, me doing that ended the relationship. Because you did that thinking that you were going to come back and recover from that, when in reality, he only invited you back in so that he can make you feel even more pain than he just felt. That's all he wanted. So the moment, it kind of started dwindling away and you went to go off to be with other guys, he was like, all I wanted was to make you feel pain and confusion. That's all he really wants here. All he wants is what we call his lick back. He wants to play with you, treat you crazy, downgrade you, have you acting a fool, confused, the same way you had him in pain when he found out that you slept with the other guy. So I want to put the responsibility on both of you here because I don't know why you guys broke up. Okay? And clearly how he treated you is he downgraded you, so that's not nice of him. I'll admit that. But I also want you to acknowledge that the mistake didn't start with him not treating you nice. The mistake started with sleeping with another guy when you knew that you still wanted to be with this guy, and then thinking that you have to understand, people that try to present you this idea that, even though you wronged me, I've just forgiven you, but I welcome you back. You should be very weary of those people that don't want you to face any consequences for how they feel you've wronged them. Because the truth of the matter is those type of people will sneakily, right, have a lot of resentment towards you and be looking to play the long play and try to get you back tenfold in the long term. Okay. And I honestly think that you had already lost by trying to rekindle a relationship with a man that you actively essentially ended a relationship with. Okay. So I know that this sounds kind of horrible, but you played yourself a little bit there. Because if you really love that man, right? And like I said, when you come to a players club, I'm going to be real with you. If you really love that man, you wouldn't sleep with someone the next day. And I actually don't fault him for feeling like your feelings were disingenuous because you slept with someone the next day. I won't lie to you. If I was in a relationship with someone and they slept with someone the next day after we broke up and then called me and told me about it, I would feel too like that person is some sort of crazy narcissist master manipulator that only wants to see me in pain. Because not only does it make me feel like, one, you never really actually took our relationship seriously and never had real feelings for me, but it also makes me feel like you actually enjoy putting me in pain, which is why you're doing it and then immediately telling me about it so that I can be in the most pain possible. It would actually make me hate you so much. I would want nothing more than to make your life a living hell. And that's actually not an unnatural feeling to feel, right? Like you guys dated and the betrayal that he'll feel will make him mistreat you crazy. So I don't understand why you did that, knowing that you still wanted to be with him, which is why I said the actual solution to your problem here is figuring out how because you need to be by yourself for a bit. And you need to figure out how you can start controlling your emotions so that they don't push you to make decisions that you never wanted to make in the first place or that don't benefit you in the first place. Because this whole message that you sent here should have been titled How to Self-Sabotage 101. That's what it should have been titled, because that's exactly what you did here, is self-sabotage a relationship with a man. Okay. Now, obviously, I don't know why you guys broke up, but like I said, if your intention was to get back into a relationship with him, the way you went about it was completely wrong. And so the result of how you went about it and the actions that you took kind of led to all of this jumbled up confusion mess. Because the reality of it is, by the time you guys got back together, all he wanted to do was give you the same pain that he felt. So you got to figure out for yourself why your emotions lead you to make decisions without actually thinking about logic and self-sabotaging, because you're never going to be able to build proper relationships if your anger or sadness is always going to put you in a place where you're making decisions first and then apologizing for them later. Trust me, you'll never have any good relationships or friendships that way. Okay? So that's my answer to you. All right, guys. that is the show for today. If I didn't answer your question, don't fret. I will definitely answer your question on future shows. We went way over today. We're closing in on 3 hours today, okay? I will definitely answer a question on future shows. I'm here every weekday, Monday to Friday at 4 p.m. Eastern, okay? And so for those of you who are on TikTok and you want to ask me a question, maybe you didn't get a chance to send it in, all you got to do is go into the link in the description and you'll be able to either ask your question in the free version, or if you want me to skip the line, because there's hundreds of questions to be answered in the free version, you can skip the line by going to the premium version. And but the thing about it is, if you submit your question in the premium version, you have to donate to the show. So when you go to my link in my bio, if you're on TikTok or even if you're on YouTube, it's in the description, you'll be able to see how to donate to the show for Relationship Advice Premium. When you donate to the show, in your message, I want you to specifically put in your username and the title of your message so that I can verify that that's you in Relationship Premium. And then tomorrow, you'll be on the first list of people that I read out before I go to the free version, okay? If you don't care that much and you don't want to donate to the show, perfectly fine. You can do the free version, but there is a long list of people to go still, all right? So if you guys want to follow me on Instagram and see everything that I'm up to and get closer and up personal with me, if you want to see more of me, you can go ahead and do that on my Instagram. That's where I spend the most time aside from, YouTube and TikTok. All right. For those of you, also my Instagram is right on the bottom right here as well, if you want to follow me there. For those of you who are on TikTok and you missed part of the show or you came late, you can always rewatch the entire show on my YouTube channel just by typing in my name there, or you can screenshot this and copy and paste it in there. And once you find my YouTube page, just go into the live section and you'll be able to see this live stream along with all the other live streams from the beginning of time. And the best part is it'll have the YouTube and the TikTok live chat embedded in the video. I got the YouTube chat to work today so that you'll be able to follow along with all the conversation that's happening in the show and never miss out on anything. All right. I'm here every Monday to Friday, so every weekday at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Ivy said, I need 2 Tracy's dogs. By the way, guys, for those of you who need something to pleasure yourself so that you're not on edge when you go out on dates, go ahead into the link in my description on YouTube and you'll be able to find the link to the Tracy's dog, which is the clit sucking vibe that I recommend to all of you, that will penetrate you and suck you all at the same time. It'll change your life. Trust me. Don't ask me how I know. It's in the link in my bio on TikTok, and it's also in the link in the description as well if you're on YouTube. Please find that. And the best part is you get a discount if you get it from my link. You'll get 10% off if you go there and get that. Trust me, it'll change your life. Ask the other members of the Players Club. All right, guys, I'll be back again tomorrow at 4 p.m. Eastern Time. Until then, arrivederci. Au revoir, hasta la vista, goodbye for now, adios, bon voyage. I love saying that. I feel like a supervillain. And I will see you again tomorrow. I love you. Bye for now. It won't be long.